downsized, but not by much. But it's also got a decent sized conservatory, and it's got a good sized garden as well. So Bounty will be happy. He's under the desk at the moment. So
I won't be able to see his face tonight. I'll have to wait until I get back home into the studio and the proper Wi-Fi. Just bear with us a second.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do
a
test on mobile phone just so to make sure there's no feedback. Excuse me. Right. Oh, that sounds absolutely perfect. That's great. I'm live now, mate. Anyway, I'm live now. So
yeah, I've got it on screen as well, mate. So
just going to activate the Sunderland commentary here. What's that?
Don't know whether Radio Newcastle will work or not. I've got Total Sport on at the moment on the other laptop.
It should do.
But with it being Football League Cup, it might have
you've got to look at the positives. And for me, the positives are, before the ball was kicked, how quickly can we get points on the board? The first game against West Ham, yes, very important.
I don't like
3-0, clean sheet.
I don't like what SAFC have done with the audio commentary. There's like a play button, and it's like I don't know what they're doing. Yeah. It's like there's no volume on it or anything. It just, for a Premier League club, it looks so.
And Mayenda will learn that when you do get a chance, because that was the only opportunity which fell his way, he's got to take.
Slow enough.
BBC Radio Newcastle. Listen, now here we go. Might not be allowed to be on BBC because it's classed as like a football.
Well, that's where I was thinking, Stu, is I know last year Newcastle couldn't broadcast Sunderland games outside of its radio area.
Yes.
Because of Football League restrictions. It doesn't apply to the Premier League. So the Premier League, they can cover all the Premier League games because they are not covered by the same geographical restrictions. But I don't know about the Football League Cup.
We'll soon find out.
I've got it on. If it goes off, it goes off. But I've got it on Total Sport from Radio Newcastle at the moment. But I don't know whether it'll be blocked.
I just don't know what the site's playing at. It's like, I mean, I pay a subscription to SAFC.com and I get all the audio. And when you click listen live, it used to open a big box, like the media player.
Register what the extent of the.
Now you've got a little tiny box at the bottom that only half loads. There's no picture loading or anything. It looks just so cheap and tacky, like a half-finished job.
Yeah. I used to use. I had a subscription to SAFC.com for years because I was living overseas. Cyprus, Germany. I used to listen to the games because you couldn't easily get to the games. So, but it got to the point where I was paying money out, and half the time it wasn't working. So I give it up as a bad job.
I don't blame you. I've got Kingfisher in. He's in the chat already. How are you doing?
And Peter Wynn's in as well.
Peter Wynn is the Lee Cattermole fan. He's a good mate of mine, Peter Wynn. He's got a B&B in South Shields, Forest Guest House. And he's right on the Curry Mile, where all the Indian, I would love to live there, Indian after in restaurant.
Yeah, put chocolate in the fridge. No, it's been eaten. What, even the 12s? Yeah.
So you're enjoying your time in Devon then, Cabby?
Absolutely loving it, mate. It's it takes me a couple of days to to get settled, and the HD brain, get familiar with my surroundings, and love it. And then as you get used to your surroundings, it's time to pack up and go home again. And then you've got to start getting used to being back home.
Yeah. So if you're stuck for something to do, I know it's not particularly cheap though. There's a place called Diggerland.
Diggerland.
In a village.
I have briefly seen bits and bobs of that.
Yeah, it's in a place called Willand, which is just effectively it's right next to the M5.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been myself, bearing in mind I live in the village of Willand. But we had one of my best mates and his autistic son were up from Spain last year.
Right.
And they went down, and Alex said it was absolutely bloody brilliant.
That's Diggerland, Sue.
It was Diggerland, Devon. It is. It's a place called Willand, just up there. It's about probably 3/4 an hour to an hour's drive up the M5 from where you are.
Yeah, I've seen it.
I've seen it. It's an option, like, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, I think it'd be all right for all ages as well, that wouldn't it?
Oh, it is. I mean, Alex is older than me, and I'm in that good old. I'm in my 60s. Alex he was 69 on Saturday, and he thoroughly enjoyed it because you can get to drive dump trucks, and the bands can drive little dump, full size dump trucks and things like that. It's about 20, 24, 25 quid to get in, like, so it's not the cheapest.
I mean, we had a cracking day yesterday at the theme park, but the weather makes a difference as well. It was Walty House. That's a brilliant place, that night.
Yeah. Yeah, I've driven past it many a time, mate. Never stopped off to go into it.
It was heaving. I mean, bank holiday. It was wall-to-wall sunshine. Honestly, you could have been abroad yesterday. It was beautiful.
Yeah, well, when we were up in the northeast last week, we travelled up on the Sunday, and it was sunny when we left here. It was cloudy and drizzly. And it was cloudy and drizzly on Monday, and Tuesday, and Wednesday. And when we left on Thursday, it was cloudy and drizzly until we got to Gloucester. Then the sun came out.
Typical. The weather forecasters forecast to turn, well,
showers, yeah.
You know,
we've got some heavy showers in for tomorrow and lighter showers for Thursday, I think. But then again, what the bloody forecasters know, Stu?
Well, I mean, I look at the BBC weather forecast, mate, and it changes by the hour on the app.
I used to write the damn thing, mate, and I used to change it by the hour.
God's sake. I mean, I can understand. I mean, it must be the most difficult thing to predict, but I don't know why the BBC app has 11 days to 12 days in advance, because it's not just 10% different, but it's about 95% different from when you refresh it the next day.
Yeah, once you get past about 5 or 6 days, it's into the world of fantasy. It's model, it's all computer stuff, but the only thing that goes that far ahead really is global scale modeling, which isn't fine enough detail. Yeah, it looks like tomorrow could be a bit damp. So they've got heavy rain and heavy showers in lunchtime tomorrow for Devon. Light showers on Thursday, and then for your drive back on Friday, more showers.
It's been pretty.
Not ideal, mate.
It's been like that throughout the whole of the year, to be honest with you. Yeah. Oh, Gary Hoyle's in the chat says, "Evening, everyone. Let's have a good win tonight and get some momentum going forward." I do agree, Gary. I know people say let's just concentrate on the league, but you know, a win tonight's not going to do morale any harm at all. J. Robson Full says, "Are you putting mate on here tonight, mate?" I don't know what you mean by that. Are you putting mate on here tonight? If you can
I wonder if he means the commentary.
I will be putting the audio commentary on, yeah, absolutely. I'm just waiting to see Radio Newcastle Total Sport. It says it on here next, but because Sunderland are a Premier League club, I think you could be right, Rob. I think it could be on. So I'd rather use the BBC Sounds player because I've got a volume button so I can balance it.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2025. You think they'd have a volume button on the live audio, wouldn't you?
They get rid of them because only people of a certain age know what volume's for, man. Well, you turn it down a bit.
Oh, Gary Hoyles just said there's a Diggerland in Langley Park when you get
There is. Yep. It's supposed to be as good as the one in Devon. There's one over in Kent as well, I think, which it gets worse reviews than the other two.
Yeah, I mean, it's not what you call like a Six Flags or a AAA theme park and stuff, but it's enough for a mixed family with kids, and it's got like 3 biggish rides, you know, and they're enough. They're enough to get you going. Like 4. Great fun. Typical 40-minute wait in the queue, but that comes part and parcel of it. But I didn't mind it standing in the sun. It was beautiful.
Yeah, could have been worse, mate. Last time I was at Disney World, queued for 4 hours to get on the Guardians of the Galaxy ride on its second day of opening, and we had guaranteed tickets for it as well, but it was still a 4-hour queue.
You queued for 4 hours.
Oh, yeah, but it's the only reason we went to the theme park that day was because we had guaranteed tickets for that ride, and the ride had only opened the day before, and it was a backwards roller coaster, so it took off going backwards, which was really weird.
You often think, is it worth waiting all that time? Because it feels like you've got amnesia when you come off it, because you think, have I actually been on that?
Yeah, exactly. You know, 4 hours for a 5-minute ride.
4 hours, and it's like, you know, I mean, we wasn't anywhere near that, but we were just like 40 minutes waiting to go on the Twister ride, and clicking the fingers, and like it's like you've got amnesia for 5 minutes or so, because you thought, like, have I actually been on that?
Yeah.
Because your adrenaline takes over, well, and you know, that excitement when you're on the ride, you totally forget.
Yeah, the day before, the day the ride opened, there was a 2-hour queue to get into the shop. Crazy.
It is crazy. Hello, Ryan Jones. He says, hey everyone, hey Cabbie, how's your jollies going? Absolutely loving it, mate. You're listening to the MACKEM CABBIE, and we've got Roz in it. You still there, Rob? Can you hear okay?
Yeah, I'm still here, mate.
Oh, that's fine.
All
yeah,
clear.
You're listening to Rob and the MACKEM CABBIE. Right, let's put.
Alex Neil insisted that Lyndon Gooch was a back, and I said, well, he always used to play as a winger, as a number 10. No, right. Never did that. Never played. No, he did. And Alex Neil wouldn't have it, so he never did concede. Anyway, Gooch get a good return, gets a warm welcome tonight.
Yeah, I'll just put the thing in there, because on the pre-match and stuff, you've got to be sort of careful, because YouTube picks up on any music that it affects your monetization, and it tells you to to cut it out. So you literally got editing tools to cut it out, and this is why I've done these guys that go around and do these fairground blogs. They must have a nightmare trying to copyright and cut the music out.
Yeah.
Maureen's joined. Hello, Maureen. He says, how do you all think, how many games will win in September and October against the big teams? Do you know, I'm just going to take one game at a time. You're going to get games where you're not pretty where you are. It's still early days. I think the team's still gelling. We've got a couple more players, I think, to bring in. So, and to be quite honest with you, I don't think, when I think back now, we were actually that bad at Burnley. I just think it was the case of the team that won was the team that finished and scored the goals. We didn't. But I don't think we're absolutely awful. I think some of the fans have been a bit harsh there, mind.
And then the weekend's 1-0 win over Stevenage. 11 changes then for Sunderland tonight. It's Patterson in goal.
Mr. Lee was all right there, Rob.
Mukiele, Masuaku and Harrison Jones.
Absolutely fine, Matt.
Midfield of Roberts, Neil, Rigg and Isidore, captain tonight, just shaking hands with Lyndon Gooch. There's a change of ends. Sunderland in the first half are going to defend the Roker end. So as we look down from the back of the Jimmy Montgomery stand, Sunderland will be playing from right to left, unusually, as the players make their way. Anthony Patterson in green into the huddle in the middle of the pitch, and Lee Nichols in dark grey is jogging back up to the north end of the stadium. Truncated.
As a cut off, has it, Rob?
Yeah, it's cut off. It's just come on and said they're not allowed to broadcast outside of the Radio Newcastle area. So you might have to go through the club site.
Hello, and thank you for listening to BBC Local Radio on the internet. Unfortunately, the...
Oh, yes, it does. Yeah. That's a nuisance, isn't it? It is a nuisance.
But that's not the case, is it? No.
Oh, well, we've still got a lot.
Although he's just to the right of Dan Neil at the moment.
Mr. Lee was all right,
playing up front.
Yep. Absolutely
and the ball now with Roberts on the left-hand side, back to Harrison Jones in his own half, and back again to Patterson.
Ryan Jones says he's a question. Newcastle
ostensibly is the right winger, Roberts the left winger.
Definitely sending off.
Isidore playing just behind.
Absolutely, 100%.
And Lefay. I was just wondering, is it 4-4-2?
Yeah. The Liverpool guy.
And Lefay's dropped out wide on this left-hand side at the moment. Here he is now on the touchline.
But it was nice to see the young lad
takes the ball from him with a little back heel. Harrison Jones inside to Neil. Neil to Mukiele, and Mukiele up to the halfway line and plays out wide right then to Huggins.
Stephen says how many of our new signings have relegation?
Patterson, but he was under pressure. Dan Neil, the back pass was slightly short, which forced Neil to have to get the better of Joe Taylor. He's playing up front for Huddersfield Town, the former Bristol City striker, and Luton Town. And back it comes to Mukiele and Masuaku.
Ukulele.
And across to Jones. Roberts wanting this ball on the halfway line on the left, slips it inside to Lefay. Lefay pushing it on then to Guiu. And there's an interception by Kasumu, I think it was.
Yeah, foul.
It's a foul by David Kasumu, former MK Dons midfielder, so it's a free kick to Sunderland just inside the Huddersfield Town.
81 watch, which is fantastic considering it's a cup game.
Harrison Jones standing over the ball at the moment.
Yeah, it will
plays
do
it away from
Ryan, because I'm not on
Joe
the studio.
Taylor, cross to Mukiele.
Talking into my
Mukiele
laptop.
and out wide. Huggins
and that's
plays
why,
it back again
I'm not using
to Mukiele,
professional
to
microphone.
Musuako on the halfway line on the centre spot. Swings it wide to Roberts. What a good ball. He brings it down in front of Gooch, trying to go around Lyndon Gooch. Gooch has got the ball off Roberts, is fouled then by Patrick Roberts, and there's a free kick.
Just
as Gooch's name resonates around the stadium.
Doing
excellent pass tonight.
Yeah.
0-0, fourth minute of the game, fourth minute of the cup tie. The draw for the next round. Let's not get ahead of ourselves too much here, but I think Razor mentioned it earlier on Total Sport tonight, that it will be made on Thursday night after the games, or the game on Thursday night. I still have to chuckle at the Huddersfield Town sponsors as Lyndon Gooch wears Hey Dude.
Honestly, Rob, I don't know what on earth they've done.
Ball played across on the far side. Across the back three. It looks like Gooch is almost pushing on. It looks as though there are three at the back, doesn't it? Huddersfield Town, as the ball slipped through, Gooch is calling back for the goalkeeper Lee Nichols to come out here. The ball at his feet. I think the thumbs up from the referee is basically starting to count, but the ball is rolled out quickly into the middle of the
Hello, Colin Major. You're listening to
centre backs. Jack Watmore is the one that stands out. He's blonde-haired.
Joined us tonight.
I remember him from Preston and Wigan. He's the player on the right-hand side of the centre 3. I'm told the draw is after the Man United Grimsby game tomorrow night, so I misheard Razor earlier. So apologies for that. The draw will be tomorrow night following Manchester United's game against Grimsby. It's the Champions League on Thursday. Here's Gooch on the right-hand side, looking to lift the ball up towards Taylor. Drops, though, for a free kick for a foul on Jones by Taylor. Burnley 1, Derby 0 tonight. In the 5th minute here, 0-0. Lee Grant, interesting character, the manager of Huddersfield Town, former goalkeeper. He finished his career, he's only 42 now, but he finished his career in 2022, only 3 years ago, at 39 at Manchester United. He played 2 games for Manchester United in the League Cup.
Listening to the MACKEM,
an
CABBIE and Rob
at Old Trafford against Derby, which Derby won 8-7 on penalties.
Yeah, right.
That was in 2018.
Just because I'm
and he played one game in the Europa League against Astana away, in which they lost 2-1, and that was in 2019. But now in charge of his first club, and doing all right so far, as Kasumu wins the ball back for Huddersfield Town in the centre. Isidore wins it back, finds Neil, a short pass forwards then to Chris Rigg, who plays it back to Mukiele inside his own half, just to Misuaka at the edge of the centre circle. Then out to the left here, Roberts inside to Lefay, and he lifts one up over the top. He was looking for Isidore's run, but it's over everybody's heads and goes behind for a goal kick to Huddersfield Town. Managed, incidentally, between 1978 and 1986 by who?
Huddersfield Town.
Yeah, little quiz question for you.
Sunderland match. I've got it all.
Sunderland related?
Not Sam Allardyce.
No.
Go on.
Mick Buxton.
Oh, Mick.
And he won 2 promotions in those 8 years from the 4th and 3rd divisions. Yeah.
He's a character.
As the ball floats up onto the head of Harrison Jones, down to Dan Neil.
Neil flowers.
Did he?
Yeah. Plants.
Flower pot man. As the ball played back through Jones, Masuaka and Mukwele to the right wing and Huggins. And Huggins is dispossessed on that far side, and they're looking to break now down the left wing, Huddersfield Town. Kasumu plays it back onto halfway. I think that is Ashia or Vost, but I'm not 100%
Durham Diver
sure.
says, have you heard from
Preston
Richie
1,
CABBIE?
Wrexham 0.
He's just vanished and
plays
blocked
the ball
everybody
back
on social
to
media.
The goalkeeper. Isidore goes to close him down.
It
floats up the kick to Taylor, but headed away by Mukwele. It's picked up by Kasumu.
Got a good chat with
He's
me
just
tonight,
left it
Rob.
inside, and it's played flicked back into the centre circle and out to Gooch on the right, and looking for a run down into the corner here, where it's poked behind for a corner off of Dion Charles. So the first corner of the evening, and it falls to Huddersfield Town. Gooch is going to take it. Charles has made his way into the penalty area. Taylor's standing on Anthony Patterson, and Gooch now pausing a moment, waiting, I think, for Dean Whitestone, and the ball comes down to the edge of the area, and it's goal! It's smashed in from 18 yards into the top right-hand corner, and Huddersfield, Castledine is the scorer, the 19-year-old on loan from Chelsea, and he smashed one in the 9th minute into the roof of the Sunderland net at the Roker end.
Excellent strike.
Unbelievable, like.
It was a terrific finish.
Great technique.
We haven't got a good record.
Patterson had no chance, but you know what the question's going to be: how come he had so much time? How come he had so much time to do that?
It was a hell of a goal, that.
Being closed down.
He wasn't closed down at all, was he? The corner from Gooch was cleared out to Castledine, who's on his own, totally on his right foot. I think it was the outside of his boot. Just smashed it into the top right-hand corner.
Game on.
So very much game on.
Anyway,
We're not even 10 minutes in, and Huddersfield lead by a goal to 0. Castledine, the scorer of the goal. So Sunderland now have to knuckle down early in the game.
Yeah, they've got something to hold on to now, Huddersfield, haven't they?
Yeah,
really.
I was saying earlier, he and Guillou, Castledine and Guillou, will be no strangers to each other. Both on loan from Chelsea. There's a throw for Sunderland on the right wing, halfway inside the Huddersfield half. Huggins took it, gets it back on his chest, inside to Dan Neil. Drops for Lefay, he swings it out to Roberts on this left-hand side, and Roberts now looking to put a ball into the back of the 6-yard box for Guillou, and it comes out eventually to Dan Neil. And Neil works it again to Roberts on the left-hand side. Jones has been left a little bit short, but he's got the ball away from Gooch. Tried to play it through Kasumu, who's blocked it, and Kasumu trying to get away, skips through a couple of challenges, and Jones nearly pulls him down. Play on, says the referee. He played across to Joe Taylor on the left of the penalty, and eventually played out, rolls out on that far side for a throw to Sunderland, who trail 1-0.
Yeah, and it's about doing the right things, Nick. You know, because you're playing Huddersfield, you're not going to get away with, trying to do a nutmeg or what. You've got to do it right, because on Saturday you're going to be playing against quality players in the Premier League.
And when I refreshed it, they were already celebrating in the corner.
Ball up towards
first time volley, top corner.
On halfway, but one back by Kasumu.
Nice goal.
Plays it through the middle on the left of central midfield. I think that's Dion Charles. It's gone behind for a goal kick to Sunderland.
No, you're looking at the basic things to do. You know, when the ball comes up, the retention of the ball has got to be good. The quality of the ball into the box has got to be good.
Nice.
The ball played out. Taylor tried to close Patterson down. Castledine does the same, but the ball is eventually up towards Dan Neil. It comes off him on the left, and Huddersfield have got possession back again, and I'm assuming that is Murray Wallace on that touchline, who's fouled and wins a free kick for Huddersfield.
There's no urgency in the lads tonight, like, is there?
Just inside the Huddersfield half, it's taken quickly. Wrexham have equalised at Preston. Preston 1, Wrexham 1. Here's Watmore putting the ball down field again, looking for Joe Taylor. He's tried to spin around Masuaku, but out comes Patterson to kick clear up onto the halfway line, where Gooch heads it on to Lefay. Roberts to Isidore, who nods it down to Roberts, who's trying to get Guillou through the middle, but defender gets back and hooks the ball away from Guillou's feet, only as far on the far side as Rigg. Behind him is Huggins, down the right again to Chris Rigg, and Rigg now plays it back to Dan Neil. Central midfield, Masuaku just at the front of the centre circle, wide on this left-hand side to Patrick Roberts. We're in the 13th minute.
Question for Rob, who was the best player you saw
Newcastle.
That never made
Jones
the grade
to
through
Roberts,
not getting a game?
and Roberts trying to get through on the left of the penalty area here to the goal line, onto his right foot now, just leaves it for Jones. Jones's pass, his cross to the far post is headed behind.
Interesting one.
It's a Sunderland corner now, their first of the game. Can they score from a corner kick? Roberts, I think, is going to take the corner. Patrick Roberts down on the right-hand side at the north end of the stadium.
That's a good question. That.
A little clutch of players around just in front of the penalty spot.
It goes back a long way. I think
Mukwele has gone on there. Masuaka's on the penalty spot. It's taken short. Rigg slips it here now to Lefay. Drives it back offside. The flag comes up. And it's a free kick to Huddersfield Town, who, if you were listening earlier, you will have heard that they are away at Barnsley on Saturday. Big Yorkshire derby.
And think the one player, Gary,
in League One.
It's a lad I used to go to school with.
Ball back with Lee Nichols in tonight, the former MK Dons and Wigan keeper who played in the first round of the League Cup. His kick is long and straight through the middle. Mukwele plays it back up towards Isidore. Watmore puts it in the air, lands on the chest of Lefay and runs away on the right to Chris Rigg. Rigg takes it wide and taps it back to Huggins. Huggins now back again
definitely
to
have more
Dan
urgency
Neil.
amongst them, like
Masuaku to Jones on this left-hand side. Plays it back to Masuaku and out then to Roberts on the left wing, just inside the Huddersfield half. Leaves it for Lefay, just behind him. Slip through to Roberts. It's a bit of space from him. He finds Guillou. Guillou trying to get in on his left foot. There's an argument he should have just stopped straight first time with his right foot, but he didn't. He decided to try and take it on, and now on the goal line, Jones can't keep it in, slides behind for a goal kick. Guillou, should he have done better?
Guillou should have done better. He should have hit it with his right.
I thought he should have instinctively just volleyed it.
Yeah. Well worked.
Lefay and Roberts worked it through, and they opened up space, but unfortunately Guillou couldn't get the ball away with any venom. Ball played out by Nichols into midfield. Kasumu forwards here through, I think that's Charles. It's given away though, and Masuaku then has to get back because Huddersfield have won the ball back. Castledine out wide on the left-hand side now, and the ball being brought back a little bit, a few yards into midfield. Charles again, back to Kasumu, and on that left-hand side, well, is it Castledine? Corner of the penalty area, looking to cross for Taylor, but it's headed out by Sunderland. Isidore looking for one of those quick breaks. It reminds you of the game at Hull, but he's been dispossessed by David Kasumu, and it's slipped through here now for a possible run to the edge of the area by Huddersfield, but Mukiele just calmly comes across and whips the ball off the feet of I think that is Asher, Cameron Ashia.
I think that's one of the talking points in regards of Wilton Isidore, in regards of sometimes he needs to be a little bit stronger, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think that argument is fair. He tends to go down easily. Here's Gooch on the right in front of his manager Lee Grant. Back it goes to Watmore, and the cross, well, I thought he was going to play it to Rotham, but it's played down into the Sunderland penalty area to Anthony Patterson. Grateful tonight, actually, there's no difficult names. That's one of the pleasures of the championship when we're in there. You tended not to get complicated surnames. As the ball comes back
till Saturday.
Yeah, don't. Patterson. Well, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. The ball played out to Mukiele and then to Huggins. Huggins back to Mukiele and back again to Anthony Patterson. He drives this out onto the wing to Jones, brings it down neatly, finds Roberts. Gooch is on his shoulder. An intervention from the winger, pushes it back to Gooch, and now Taylor's trying to get away, slips it inside. Charles looking for Castledine, but it's put behind by Huggins for another corner to Huddersfield Town.
Make sure we concentrate here, Nick. Conceded off the last corner.
Yeah, well, Gooch is going across to take this corner as well. I think that is Cameron Ashia who's left him the ball, and Ashia's come back to the D. Try and confirm that in a moment.
See, look on the edge of the box. They've got three on the edge of the box.
Yeah, they've left Kasumu.
We don't need that many in the box, do we? In the 6-yard box.
Vost is in the D. The ball swings into the back of the 6-yard box. It bounces off Taylor. Rigg is trying to tackle him. They've dug out the ball though for who? Charles, who's driven it over the top.
Why do we have so many in the 6-yard box?
Well, they had another opportunity there, Huddersfield. Dion Charles it fell to, and he put it over the bar. Not far over either in the 19th minute. Didn't fully get the ball clear. Rigg was wrestling with Taylor, and Charles is in a little acre of space. The ball fell to him, and he put it over the bar. Now, what's the referee seen here? He's going back for a word with Taylor and demanding he walks to the back of the penalty area. So it's back with Patterson. Taylor went to close him down. A long kick upfield in the 19th minute now. Sunderland trailing 1-0. But here's Isidore wide. Behind him, Dan Neil and Chris Rigg. It comes through to Dan Neil. Neil turns and shakes off Castledine and plays it back now to Musuaku, Mukiele just to his right, wide to Huggins, inside then to Chris Rigg.
Yeah.
A little bit of a shoulder barge on him, but he's
just a case of
survived that. Gets the ball back to Mukiele and Jones, and then inside to Musuaku. And Musuaku wide to Roberts on this left wing inside the Huddersfield Town half. And Huddersfield in their blue and white stripes, white shorts and blue and white socks. The ball is well, blue and black and white socks, I should say. The ball put behind for a Sunderland corner on the right hand side.
Lads.
Masuaka passed there, excellent. Left to right.
Took it short last time, the corner. Masuaku has gone down to take this one.
Come on, Riggy.
Huddersfield have got everybody back inside the penalty area to defend this. Huggins is left as the sentinel just in front of the centre circle. Corner from the right then. Masuaku whips this in low. It's headed away by Watmore. Comes all the way back up to Huggins. And now to Neil on the left of midfield. He swings the ball back up into the penalty area looking for Chris Rigg, but it's over his head and behind for a goal kick to Huddersfield Town. Barnsley 0, Rotherham 1. Barnsley, as we were hearing, Huddersfield's opponents on Saturday. I wonder how many changes Barnsley have made tonight for their League Cup tie. Here's Masuaku on the halfway line on the left-hand side. Plays it back again to Jones. Jones inside to Mukiele, up to Neil, back to Mukiele and Neil. Castledine, I think it is, it goes to close him down. It's played wide then to Rigg. The overlap from Huggins. Rigg tried to cross it, but it was blocked by Ashia. Comes back eventually to Mukiele. In the centre circle, Musuaka. And out on the left to Patrick Roberts. Roberts now wide again to Lefebvre. Tries to roll in the path, but Roberts didn't quite have the pace. Gooch got it back, then lost it, but then Roberts lost it again himself. And it comes off Lefebvre for a Huddersfield Town throw on the right-hand side in the 22nd minute. 1-0 to Huddersfield Town. Gooch will take the throw. He's 12 yards from the corner flag on the right side, down the line, but Jones has won it back after an intervention by Lefebvre. Now Roberts, squeezed by two Huddersfield players, and Charles whips the ball away, but it's up to Huggins on the halfway line. He plays it to his left to Mukiele. Back it comes to him, and he taps it to Lefebvre.
Good
to
side,
Jones,
Huddersfield, Rob, mind.
to Mukiele.
Yeah,
And
they're not bad.
last
They're not a bad
week
side.
when Luke O'Nien was talking about Harrison Jones, he was describing him as one of the best trainers, one of the best players at the club. And I think he's certainly trusted by Regis Brice, who used him at left back a fair amount in pre-season and names him in the team tonight. Ball is out for a throw to Huddersfield on the right-hand side. And the ball, Gooch isn't going to go and get it. He's
3 days
demanded as captain. Someone else gets the ball and plays it back to him to take this throw.
Has anybody heard any news
back
about
it eventually
Dambala?
goes to Lee Nichols, the goalkeeper.
No,
out to Kasumu, out to the right to Gooch. Gooch slips it inside. I think that's Vost who plays the ball up.
As we were discussing this morning,
Daniel Voster, 19-year-old youngster from Warrington this summer. The ball rolls away behind the goal line for a goal kick to Huddersfield Town. It's a game's drifting a bit.
Well, I just was going to say, you know, Reggie Lebris will be sat there, well, standing there on the touchline and thinking, must do better. I think they need a little bit more of a tempo to the game.
Yeah, there's a lack of urgency about it, isn't there? The referee, what's the referee seen here? As he said, there's a lot of waving his hands about for a second, rolling his hand, and he's pointing back up the pitch. Dean Whitestone and a couple of players. Isidore was one of them, I think. The two centre-backs, Ruffin and Watmore, either side of the goalkeeper Lee Nichols. Ruffin plays it back to Nichols in the middle, and he kicks through the centre straight onto the chest of Mukiele, who lays it off to Jones. Jones taps it on to Lefay.
Yeah, it
back to
like,
Musuaku and Mukiele, and then out wide on the far side to Huggins. Let's wonder if we're going to see at any point tonight the two Jones brothers on the same pitch together, Harrison and Jayden. Here's Harrison playing the ball up towards Isidore, back to Lefay, out to Roberts on the left-hand side. Roberts back to Jones, inside again to Lefay. On the halfway line, it's with Neil, and now Mukiele to his right. Mukiele takes this on, and he has Huggins wide on the right-hand side. He leaves it for Niall Huggins. Huggins plays it back to Dan Neil, who's under pressure from Castledine. Gets the ball back to Patterson, who's out in midfield here for Sunderland. We're in the 25th minute. It's live on BBC Radio Newcastle, and Huddersfield are leading 1-0. The ball played up through to Guiu, who's seen very little of the ball tonight. He had one half chance. Should have done better with it, really. The ball comes back to Nichols. He clears Guiu up to the halfway line. The ball bounces through to Musuaku, offside. And there's a free kick, which Musuaku takes quickly back to Jones, and Jones inside in the middle now to Mukiele, up towards the halfway line, looking for Chris Rigg. Has to work hard, he has lost it. Kasumu just pushes it on to eventually comes back to Ruffin, the centre half, and out again to Kasumu on the halfway line in the middle, through the centre circle. Gooch is crying, calling out for it on the right wing, takes it and cuts inside here, Lyndon Gooch, going into the centre of the Sunderland half, and then out to Wallace on the left-hand side. And Murray Wallace looking for Ashia down the left, but it'll run away behind for a... Was it a goal kick? No, Patterson just kept it in with his palm. And he rolls the ball now down to Mukiele, the corner of this penalty area on the right-hand side in the 27th minute. Masuaku out to Jones. Jones forwards now to Isidore. Immediately closed down by Watmore. Plays it back to Lefay. Lefay's trying to swing the ball wide right. Bounces away from Niall Huggins. And it's a throw on the left for Huddersfield Town, deep in their own half. So the east stand is open. That's pretty full. Roker End is pretty full. And there are 1,000 Huddersfield fans here tonight as well at the top of the north stand. The west stand, the Jimmy Montgomery stand, is not open tonight. Lefay drives one back at Mukiele, plays it across to Jones. Jones now down the left to Patrick Roberts. Roberts to Dan Neil. Wide left with Jones to Neil again, just ahead of him. Inside to Roberts, and now to Jones, and into the middle to Lefay. And Lefay rolls it to Mukiele. Mukiele takes this on. He's got Huggins wide, but he crosses into the penalty area. Watmore heads it out wide to Mukiele. Mukiele and now Lefay. Lefay to Musuaku. And now on the left-hand side to Roberts. And Harrison Jones plays it back to Musuaku, and he plays it to Mukiele. And he swings his right foot through it up towards Watmore, who heads the ball away. It drops on the head of Castledine in the centre circle. Kasumu just behind the centre circle. A slip by Vost, I think it is. And Lefay picks up on that. Gets the ball to the left to Jones. Jones now tries to curl a ball into the penalty area, which he does successfully, but into the hands of the goalkeeper. 29th minute, Sunderland 0, Huddersfield Town 1 still. The goal coming in the 9th minute from a Gooch corner. Nichols from the edge of his penalty area kicks, looking for Taylor to try and break on Musuaku, who's gone with him wide onto the touchline. Joe Taylor, his socks rolled down, just keeps it in, pokes it back to Lyndon Gooch, inside to Kasumu, who swung it across to Ashia, and it's going to drop neatly to him on the left of the penalty area. Huggins in front of him, and Ashia shoots, but straight at Anthony Patterson. That's another chance.
Positive.
Wolves 1, West Ham 0 in tonight's round of games.
Sunderland haven't had an opportunity yet, a chance.
Well, the nearest they've had to was the Guiu, wasn't it? That's it. They've not had to, they've not troubled Lee Nichols at all. The ball up now towards Guillou, trying to get on the end of this, but it will drop for Watmore. Guillau's trying to stick with him because
what I've got the commentary on in the background using my mobile because I can control the audio. Can you still hear us all right there, Rob? Yeah,
can do. Yeah, absolutely clear, mate.
Huggins wide, Riggs looking to try and make a run, but it's played it down to Huggins. Closed down by Cameron Ashian, back to Mukiele, inside the Sunderland half still. And now Dan Neal swinging the ball wide, left, looking for the run of Patrick Roberts. Gooch heads it back.
Yeah, I think to answer Gary's comment, yeah, Bomber Brown. As I say, I knew Alan, but it was because our dads worked together, and I played football at county level, but he was England. Yeah, he was England youth, and he was superb, but he suffered badly from injuries, and I think Ryan mentioned he missed more than he scored, so and he was a bit inconsistent, but he just never really did much, you know, considering how well thought of he was in the international youth setup. He never really did much.
Never did much at all, eh? Can people in the chat let me know if you can hear the commentary in the background?
We can. I can.
You can, because I've had to use my mobile phone because I can't turn the volume down on the website, and I can't hear Rob speak at all.
Yeah.
Because I'll email SAFC and I'll see. Connor Bongo says audio messed up. It's so quiet. He says. Yeah, well, it's classed as a watch along. I'm not going to have the audio outright because it's not supposed to really be doing it. So you can have the audio in the background, and that's why we do like the watch along and have a bit of chat over it. So can you actually hear the commentary, Rob, in the background? Can you?
Yes, I can hear the commentary in the background, and I can hear you clearly.
That's fine. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I'll email SAFC and I'll tell them about there's no volume or audio button on their audio stream. Baz Mundy says, survival, this is the cup nobody wants to win.
Ball away on the right hand side here for Taylor. On his shoulder is Masuaku. Taylor plays it back to Kasumu. Kasumu tackled by Jones, but the loose ball forced to Boss. Boss gets it to Gooch on the right here. It's rolled out. The throw of Roberts to Huddersfield. Preston now makes them 2-1. This is halfway inside the Sunderland half. Lyndon Gooch is going to take the throw. This blue and white striped jersey back to Lost. Back again to Watmore. Yeah. And then to Kasumu, who whips it away from Dan Neal. Inside then to Castledine. And down the left is Asher in the penalty area. Trying to come in. He plays it back again to Castledine. And then he's holding off Dan Neal. Dan Neal struggling to get hold of the ball here, and it's cleared in the end by Patrick Roberts, and this has come back now down to Mukiele to clear straight to Kasumu, who shoots from range, and he had Patterson stretching, the ball went wide, but again quite prepared to shoot from a long way out. Kasumu playing with confidence on the Huddersfield. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Thank you, Philip Scott, who points out that Dennis Law started his career at Huddersfield.
I don't think we've had a shot on target yet, have we, Rob?
One shot, none on target. I mean, we've had something like 67% of the possession so far, but one shot not on target. They've had 4 shots, 2 on target. So, yeah, speaks volumes. But to answer Baz Mundy's comment, I can just think of one team that were really pleased to win this trophy last season. But then again, they'd been starved of trophies for about 70 years, haven't they?
Yeah, all that. Penalties were mentioned. I didn't want penalties, Maureen. I've got an Indian order tonight and I want to eat it. I don't want to be sitting here in a Mickey Mouse trophy at 11 o'clock at night. No thanks. William Andrews says, for heaven's sake, here we go again. How is this team got promoted is beyond me, says William Andrews.
I think this is the team that played the last 5 games of the standard season last year.
Yeah. Look, the harsh reality of it is, Rob, just not interested in the tournament, in the competition. It's as simple as that.
I wonder if that both though, do not try too hard. Don't risk injury, don't bust a gut. It's only it's a third-rate trophy effectively after the FA Cup and the championship. Perhaps they have been told that, I don't know. Sad state of affairs if they have, but you can understand it. Concentrate on staying in the Premier League.
The thing is, I mean, there's just so much at stake to stay in the Premier League, and it's so hard to stay in the Premier League. You cannot risk. That has to come first.
Yeah.
There goes a copyright strike. No. But it picks up mobile phone ringtones and everything. It's crazy, YouTube.
Yeah.
What makes it worse is the wife's got a ringtone of a Christmas song on as well.
Fay raises both arms for the moment, and then with his right foot curls it in onto the head of Harrison Jones, curls up and down into the hands of Lee Nichols.
Ryan Jones, possession means nothing if you're not good enough to do anything with the possession.
That is absolutely 100% certain. How many times have we said, doesn't matter how much possession the team's got, if you don't score, you don't win the game.
100%.
Spoken to by the referee. There's a conversation. Dan Neil is involved. Masuaku being told in no uncertain terms by the look of things by the referee.
Can't get beat off these, says Ducky.
He doesn't like. I think Masuaku is very impressed. And a yellow card for Masuaku. So I don't know what that was for. I assume was it something said. But what happened there? Yellow card. Looked away for a second. Yellow card here for a Huddersfield player for a foul of the Fay. Yeah. Trying to see what happened on the replay.
These players should be out to prove a point, says Durham Diver.
Yeah, they showed this is their chance to state a claim for a team and for a place in the first team. But none of them seem to be doing enough at the moment to warrant that.
Not at all, no.
The slip by Rigg in the corner. He tried to get on the ball. By Huggins in the corner as he tried to get on the ball. It's gone behind for a goal kick to Huddersfield. The yellow card's a standalone. So, like Adingra got a yellow card on
What's the problem, Luke?
Rolled over to the League Cup. Likewise, the League Cup yellow cards don't roll over into the Premier League. Nichols with the kick, the goal kick, and it's headed out by Jones. We're in the 39th minute. Huddersfield leading since the 9th minute.
It's a League Cup, EFL.
Gooch waiting to get the ball. Gets it from Patrick Roberts.
The Mickey Mouse Trophy, what Newcastle flukely won.
Comes back out from his seat in the dugout to the edge of his technical area. Gooch takes the throw, bounces over Taylor.
It's on knockout, son. It's on knockout.
Do you want to win?
I'm not bothered now.
Masuaku brings the ball back.
Premier League's priority has to be.
6-yard box, places it on the 6-yard line and plays it across to Mukiele on the right of the Sunderland penalty area. A block made on that far side by Castledine. It's a throw to Sunderland. Mukiele takes it back to Anthony Patterson, who passes it now to Masuaku, and then wide to Jones.
Well, they're not delivering now, no?
Little backheel, nice ball off the path of Jones, who plays it into the middle to Mukiele.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Sense that Sunderland continually going square and not forwards when they
Boys,
break.
can you turn that down? I'm live on stream now.
Frustrating, but here's Masuaku finding Jones wide on the left, halfway inside the Huddersfield half, inside to Dan Neal. Roberts alongside him plays it back to Masuaku on the halfway line, and then it's swung across the pitch to Huggins. Well, heads it out, it's a little bit too high, a little bit too awkward for him, and a throw to Huddersfield halfway inside their own half on the left hand side. Forwards comes Murray Wallace, former Millwall defender, but he did have 4 years at Huddersfield.
Still no sign of any goals there, Rob.
2016 is his second.
No. I think Ryan's just summed it up perfectly. 70% possession, no shots on target, 2 shots in total, and 50% of the play in the middle of the field. So, yeah. But Gary's got a very valid point there. The League Cup, as it is, has never been particularly popular. If I'm not mistaken, it was the Texaco Cup once over and the Milk Cup. And the only exciting thing about the Texaco Cup was the fact that they had a giant football on every game on the field at the beginning of every game. It is. Yeah, it is. And I mean, I know we got beat at the weekend, but, we actually, first half, we were the better team. And we were chasing the game after they scored their first, and we let them in for a second. It's what you expect. I think it's what I expected to happen. If we went behind, we'd probably go 2 behind. Because we'd be pushing to try and get an equaliser. You are correct, Ryan. It was the Coca-Cola Cup, Texaco Cup, Milk Cup, Coca-Cola Cup, the Caribou Cup. Yeah.
Can you get back on to get some decent Wi-Fi? Do you know what? We live in the world.
But you never thought you'd say that about Carlisle, did you?
Do you know, we live in the year 2025. It doesn't matter what holiday resort you go to, the internet turns into dial-up.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go.
Yeah, but you've got to remember you're in Devon, and Devon's like 20 years behind everywhere else. Just instead of being 2025, it's actually about 2005 or possibly even 1995. Some of these country lanes down in Devon, mate, were designed for horse and cart, and they only graduated the cars about 10 years ago.
Tell us about it.
You've been down some of those, have you, Gabby?
Yeah, I mean, they're virtually not wide enough for a car.
Yep.
Right.
Them's the ones. And when you've got a lorry coming the other way and you're and you think, yeah, he's got right to wait, and you've got to reverse up a hill, and you're crap at reversing anyway. Well, I am. Cars going into meltdown because the reversing sensor's having a dicky fit. Yeah, and that was just my first trip out in Devon.
It's headed out by Jones again, straight to a Huddersfield player, and finally it's rolled into the penalty area on the right, and Huggins is able to smash it clear for a throw to Huddersfield on the far side. 1-0 Huddersfield lead going into the last minute, but there'll be a couple of minutes added.
You could have put your mark. I mean, would you be disheartened if we lost this tonight? Because I'm not going to be fussed at all. Are you? I'm not going to lose any sleep.
Not really. Like you say, it's a training game. I wonder if they've been told not to try too hard.
Plays it on, it rolls off the feet of Rutland out to Wallace, looking for the run of Ashier, and now Taylor getting ahead of Huggins, tapping it into Ashier in the penalty area. He's wide out of the box. He's got Mukiele in front of him, but Ashier still has it, plays it back into midfield, and Patterson forced into a save from Daniel Most, the 19-year-old. Patterson kicks it clear quickly, up onto the head of Watmore, down to Gooch, played close to now a minute of the minimum 3. Gooch on the right, wide on halfway, back to Watmore, and Watmore now driving this on, and they'll roll harmlessly all the way back. Patterson to sprint across.
Yeah, it was called the Littlewoods Cup. It was called the Rumbelows Cup as well.
And Patterson plays the ball out to Mukiele. Closed down by Castledine. He plays it to Musuaku. We're into the second minute of the minimum 3 being added on.
Will and Helen listening from Antalya, Turkey. Well, hello.
And here on the left is Roberts.
All the way from Turkey.
There's a throw to Sunderland in their red and white stripes. He leaves it for Jones. Jones to Lefay, who's back on the pitch, okay. And Lefay plays it back into the centre circle to Mukiele. Forwards then to Rigg. Rigg looking for Huggins. Huggins back to Rigg. Looks for Neil. Neil now on the right of central midfield to Huggins. He's made the run. He crosses into the hands of the goalkeeper. Isidore left frustrated. He was on the other side of Nichols. Nichols kicks long, looking for Taylor. He's taking on Masuaku. Masuaku is a good old-fashioned shoulder barge, and the referee instantly waves his hands, waves any appeal away. Joe Taylor still not entirely convinced it wasn't a foul, but it was a good one. You know, nothing wrong with that. Ball out to Huggins on the right-hand side. It's Huddersfield Town half in the last minute of the minimum 3. Rigg lays it off to
You still awake there, Rob?
Yeah. I'm just doing a bit of research on the history of the League Cup while I'm listening. See what else it was called other than the ones we've already mentioned.
Out to Roberts in the middle. Isidore trying to slip it through for Guillou or Roberts, but no, it's blocked by Huddersfield. They're going to get the ball away again. Rutland out to Wallace. Wallace inside to Kasumu. Kasumu now with 15 seconds of the first half left. Finds Ashier on the left wing. Sprinting back is Rigg. It's played on.
It's going to be called the Quaver Cup, says Jason.
Yeah, Worthington Cup was another one. The Worthington Cup. Carling Cup, Whirling Cup, Capital One Cup. I think.
Well, that's the half-time score. I mean, hello, Bong, how you doing, mate? What's your thoughts on that then, mate?
Yeah, it's a training game. That's all that can be really said about it.
It's a training game. It's a you know. You feel sorry for the fans, though, don't you? They've made the effort there on a Tuesday night. They've got work in the morning. But it's a tricky one, isn't it? You want to be entertained, but at the same time, you risk going to watch that game because, let's face it, what do you expect? Yeah, it's money, isn't it? I mean, people are spending money to turn up
to watch the game expecting to see Sunderland win, and with the team aren't really trying that hard. I mean, saying that, I've just posted in the chat there that the League Cup winners get £100,000. I'm sorry, we pay players more than that a week.
That's a good point, isn't it?
Yeah. There's nothing other than a place in Europe for winning it. There's not really any incentive to win it, is there? 100 grand's bugger all, really.
100 is actually what it is for winning it.
What? Yeah,
Jaden Jones
is what the winning team gets off the Football League. 50,000 for the runners-up.
That's nuts.
I think Tony, don't bring too many bananas back. We've already got one on the field at the moment.
For heaven's sake.
Yeah, I've got a feeling Durham Diver could well be right. We'll come out in the second half and probably end up winning the game, but on the showing of the first half, it's just been a training game, hasn't it? And I agree with Ryan. They should be busting the gut to prove they're good enough to be in the first team. But
the thing is, maybe it's the team that's out there at the minute isn't. Like, you just don't know. I mean, it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I'm just laughing at Gary's comment there about not getting a signal. Travel 10 minutes to his mum's and can't get a signal. Yeah, I think at one point because when we moved to Devon, we rented for a couple of years until we found the house we bought. And in one of the houses, the line wasn't even good enough for telephone conversations.
Oh my!
And it took BT 14 weeks to sort that out. So
that's just nuts. So fouls committed 3 each, fouls won 3 each, yellow cost 1, red cards 0 each. I don't know why.
John C's just said that Texaco Cup was a completely different competition, and in 2020 hindsight, you're absolutely right, John. It was. I do remember the Texaco Cup from when I was a little one, but I always thought it was League Cup, but I sit corrected. The Wikipedia says it was the Football League Cup. Then in 1981 became the Milk Cup. In 86 became the Littlewoods Challenge Cup. In 90 it became the Rumbelows Cup. 92 the Coca-Cola Cup. 98 the Worthington Cup. 2003 the Carling Cup. 2012 the Capital One Cup. 2016 to 17 only, it was the AFL Cup. It happens.
It's not on route now. Let's read some comments in here. Offer a pint of water. Ryan Jaws, the players on the pitch should be busting a gut through if they're good enough. Whether they're good enough or not, I don't know. Stats are definitely in Sunderland's favour, apart from the goal. You thought the amount of money that goes through English League, it would be at least a good few million to win it.
Apparently the it's Baines, isn't it? It's Baines. Yeah, apparently the FA Cup's only got a prize money of £2 million. Yeah, it's Baines, Cabbie. They're always going to be like that. Two brothers fighting. I remember it with my younger brother. I used to beat him up all the time. Yeah, I think the FA Cup's only isn't that much more. Well, it's significantly more than the League Cup, but I think it's only a couple of million to the winners. It's qualification for Europe. That's the important thing. Yeah, you're coming through clear, mate. Coming through clear. Yeah, compared to 2 million prize money in the FA Cup, which is in turn eclipsed by the Premier League television money, blah, 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 which, is hundreds of millions, isn't it? I mean, was it 250 million, they reckon Sunderland's promotion is worth to the club?
Really?
So, yeah. Yeah, and, even if we go back down, the parachute payments mean that game beating Sheffield United at Wembley effectively generated somewhere between 160 and 250 million pound for the club.
That's nuts.
Yeah, and that's Ryan's summed it up perfectly there. 6.3 billion in revenue for the Premier League in 2023-24, compared to 2 million for the FA Cup and 100 grand for the Football League Cup, or whatever the hell it's called these days. Caribou Cup or something like that.
Oh dear.
Ryan says, "Cabbie, mute everyone while you beat the kids up."
This is what the other Sunderland YouTubers are it easier. Any kids are up like that, so they can do all these videos or any interruptions. And they don't realise it's like when I'm on a live or something like that. Even when I was somewhere on a Saturday, it's like I'm up and down getting that. The other YouTubers don't have that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's such a difference.
Yeah.
Now you can do about it, but
yeah. There's not. You've got a family there. They're going to be there in the background.
But viewers are so open, it's like, I'm not listening to this or all that bollocks in the background. That's what they do. They're not bothered about whether you've got family or anything like that. They just say, "No, I'm not listening to that clout."
Yeah, it's not that many months ago. I was actually doing an interview. I was interviewing somebody for a job, and a certain beast, hairy beast, decided partway through the interview that he wanted to sit on my knee. And when a dog that weighs 37 kilograms decides to sit on your knee, all he is a massive bloody grey and white hair. And when he stands on your dangly bits, it hurts a lot. And the muted scream, because I didn't get a chance to lift the mic when he stamped on me, just had the interviewee in hysterics. And to say the least, they did get the job.
What I'm going to do for the second half, I'm going to put the commentary onto the desktop so it'll be a lot louder. And I can have a big crack on with you after the game.
Yeah.
It's like the little buggers, they know when I'm doing a stream. It's like you're not hearing them for hours, and then I'm doing something live, and then they're just going ballistic.
On Sunday. Well, head coach Ryan Campbell's been chatting to the club's YouTube channel and says...
2 seconds, Cabby. I'm just going for a drink now.
Yeah, no problem, fella. You having a problem with the chat tonight? I can see you, mate. No problem. They did this before with a goalkeeper glove at home. Caden threw Ollie's goalkeeper glove onto the grass. Ollie came in and says, "We tell Caden to go and get it." Took Caden 45 minutes to admit to it to go and get it, and it was literally just at Miley's.
I'm surprised he admitted to it.
It was just at Miley's.
He actually admits to it.
He had to walk out the front door, walk to Miley's, pick it up, and there was an outcry for 45 minutes, and that was because of it.
Because they're just pure fucking stupid. Just think it's too stupid to figure that out, but at least the next half an hour, see. Can't believe she's not getting that anywhere.
Yeah, that was loud, Ryan Jones. Yeah.
On the positive, it's the last night, so she's not going to be in the water. What do you mean, it's the last night? It's their last night on holiday. Oh, Vicky's.
Starting to look through the other scores. Wolves 1, West Ham 1. Cambridge stuffing Charlton at the moment. Brentford 1 up against Bournemouth. Port Vale beating Birmingham. Burnley being held by Derby County.
Are there? What's the lead? Sheffield Wednesday?
The Sheffield Wednesday 0, Leeds 0 after 45 plus 4.
Did you watch that Arsenal match against Leeds?
I did. Leeds probably weren't worth a 5-0 or a 5-goal defeat. They played better than that. But
it's
Arsenal.
Look, it's the Premier League, Rob. It's like they're so lethal in front of goal. It's got nothing to do with possession. It's about finishing. It's as simple as that.
I agree, and like we were saying earlier, I think if we put one of those 2 chances away that we had against Burnley, it would have been a different result. It would have been. But you've got to take the chances when you get them.
You do indeed. That's what the audio's doing here in a second.
Start of the second half. There are now 2 Joneses on the pitch, but it's not Harrison's brother. It's Jensen Jones, and he's replaced Niall Huggins. So Sunderland about to get the second half underway. They, as we look down the back of the Jimmy Montgomery stand, are attacking from left to right in this second half.
Right, there we go. The commentary in the background. I couldn't hear me yet at all. I don't know.
Jimmy Montgomery stand this evening. Has it not been open to the general public? And Huddersfield in their blue and white stripes, white shorts and black socks, predominantly black socks, are now defending the Roker end as we look down from Jimmy's stand. Jimmy's perch. So Huddersfield lead by a goal to 0. They line up with Nichols in goal, a back 4 of Lyndon Gooch, Watmore, Ruffin and Wallace. And in the midfield, Vost and Kasumu. And then on the wings, Dion Charles and Leo Castledine, Joe Taylor up front. Here is Dan Neal trying to hold off Kasumu, who's got hold of the ball. He rolls it through for Ashia, but out comes...
I've hit 4,500 subscribers. Thank you very much.
Line, but straight into the path of Wallace. The left back,
Don't forget to click that thumb.
Cleared for a throw to Huddersfield on the left-hand side. The Sunderland team, Patterson, now Jensen Jones, Mukiele, Masuaku, Harrison Jones, Neil Rigg, Roberts, Isidore Lefebvre and Guillou. Now, Roberts in the second half is playing on the right-hand side. In the first, he played on the left. Isidore is wide on the left. Lefebvre is playing behind Chris Rigg and Guillou. So they have changed things around, changed the shape of the second half.
Guillou's not done much, has he?
Huddersfield in possession again. Voss plays the ball back to Ruffin on the halfway line, then Wallace to his left. He lifts one up looking for Taylor at the edge of the area. He's held off Musuaka and in the end Harrison Jones wrapped his foot around it and got it back to Patterson.
Puts himself about Tony Taylor.
Yeah, he does.
Doesn't make it easy for defenders.
22-year-old Welshman, signed from Luton.
It's given in.
Peterborough before that, a couple of years at Luton, but had loans at Colchester and Lincoln City. Murray Wallace, beaten by Patrick Roberts, who is beaten by Kasumu.
Luke could be there. It could be literally there. Yeah, the answer is this. We could argue for an hour over it.
Away. And, back it comes to David Kasumu, who actually qualifies to play for Nigeria. If he ever got the ball up, that's who he wants to play for. Ball comes back to Patterson, rolls it out to Harrison Jones, so both fullbacks for Jones. Here's now Mukiele, wide to Jensen Jones, over the halfway line, looking for the runner Patrick Chris Rigg. Rigg turns, inside now to Patrick Roberts. Roberts rolls it through towards Lefebvre, and there's a foul, was it? What did he say? It's not offside.
So you're on live, by the way.
West Ham 2. He's called Rigg to him. Did the referee touch the ball? I don't know. I can only think the referee must have at some point touched the ball. So Dean Whitestone, the referee, drops it to Chris Rigg, plays it to Dan Neal, out to Harrison Jones and Isidore wide on the left-hand side in the 49th minute. Here now is Mukiele, wide to Patrick Roberts. Roberts tries to get round Wallace and Ashia and comes back into the middle. Plays it across to Harrison Jones, down to Wilson Isidore. Isidore crosses, looking for Jensen Jones, who runs onto it on the right side of the 6-yard box, puts it behind on the volley. Yeah, the youngster.
Good cross in there, Wilson. Isidore.
In theory, I think they're probably a bit more comfortable with this formation. 50th minute, the ball thrown down to the goal kick by Lee Nichols, Huddersfield leading 1-0. The ball onto the head of Harrison Jones, comes down to Mukiele, on to Chris Rigg, who heads it out, trying to find Roberts, but Wallace gets it towards Ashia, foul on Ashia by Jensen Jones, in front of the Huddersfield manager Lee Grant, and it's a free kick to Huddersfield, who changed ownership a year or so ago. They're owned by Americans now, as so many clubs in England are. The ball comes back to Mukiele, to his right is Jensen Jones, back again to Mukiele, across to Musiaka. Musiaka drives this wide down the left wing to Isidore, halfway inside the Huddersfield half. Taking on Gooch, he's pushed it on to Harrison Jones, crosses, blocked by Watmore, and then won back by Jones. Behind him is Lefebvre, and it's played into the centre to Mukiele, who's urged to shoot. He finds Roberts on the right of the penalty area, cut out by Murray Wallace though, and then fouled by Mukiele. free kick to Huddersfield Town.
Very close.
Just ignoring anything Dean Whitestone, the referee, has to say.
It's interesting, isn't it? You just think and look at his CV, PSG, Bayer Leverkusen, Sunderland. You know, you're just thinking of players who've been playing around him.
Yeah. Well, you know, that applies to a lot of the players they've brought in this summer. The quality of the players and who they've been playing with. Because Mukiele would have been playing alongside Granit Xhaka last season at Bayer Leverkusen. Harrison Jones sweeps the ball up field, out goes Nichols. Isidore sprinting on, but Nichols got there first and drives the ball down the Huddersfield Town right into the centre here now for Mukiele in his own half, out to Jensen Jones in front of Regis Lebris. We're in the 52nd minute. We're live on BBC Radio Newcastle. We'll be back tomorrow night, of course, on BBC Radio Newcastle with Total Sport at 6 o'clock as Isidore trying to get through, but it's tackled by Gooch. It's a corner to Sunderland. It's only Sunderland's third corner of the game. This will be on the left of the Roker end. Is it Lefay? Who's taking it? Lefay, is it? I think it's Enzo Lefay is going to take the corner on the left-hand side. Right arm raised. He appears to have removed the white bandage round his wrist. The ball hangs in the air. It's too deep, but Mukiele will run across to the touchline to keep it in. And he's caught by Castledine. But a throw is the consequence of that little challenge. Referees come down to assess what the issue is with Mukiele, who's lying on the pitch grabbing his right foot. So whether did Castledine step on his foot, I'm not sure. But Mukiele's rolled onto his back now, and now sitting. Oh, and he's rolled back onto his side. Now he's kneeling. He's getting himself to his feet. And Chris Rigg is trying to get away from the assistant. I think Mukiele's got a few words to say. I think he felt that was a foul, so I think he's had a little bit of a dig at the assistant referee. It's a throw here, which Ruffin is going to take for Huddersfield. But back into the penalty area, there's a slight mistake. Guiu, good stop by the keeper, and now Isidore trying to run onto the loose ball, can't get on the end of it. Huddersfield nearly caught them when they made a mistake at the back, but Harrison Jones finds Enzo Lefay. The ball whipped off him as he was about to shoot, then Isidore takes a deflection off Gooch, and it's another corner to Sunderland.
Goalkeeper's gone down. Lee Nichols has gone down.
Keeper's gone down, yeah. Guiu saw an opportunity then, but Nichols blocked it, and that was the first chance, if you like, for Sunderland in the game in the 54th minute.
Good block by the goalkeeper.
As it came to Guiu on his right, he played from sort of 12 yards, 10 yards, tried to drive it over the keeper, but caught him. And Sunderland finally get a decent opportunity in the tie, but they still trail 1-0. A corner. Lyndon Gooch speaking to Dean Whitestone, the referee.
Still no improvement, Rob, is there?
And there's a lengthy conversation between the pair before Enzo Lefay turns away himself to walk over to the corner, whilst the goalkeeper's still getting treatment. Looks to be his right leg that they're just manipulating. David Kasumu's come across some instructions from manager Lee Grant. Nichols is still sitting on the edge of the 6-yard box, receiving treatment. Is there going to be is that a thumbs up? I see that he's okay from one of the physios.
He'll be fine.
Owen Goodman's the first choice keeper this season, who's on loan from Crystal Palace. but Lee Nichols is back on his feet. Okay.
I just can't see where this
He's in
goal
dark
at the Rose
grey.
is coming from at all.
The
Like,
corner
really
will be taken by Enzo Lefebvre at the Roker end, as everybody gets ready to defend this. From a Huddersfield perspective, it's taken short. It's curled in by Lefebvre. It's headed clear by Huddersfield. It bobbles around for Dan Neal to try and get his head on the end of it. But Huddersfield get it clear. Castledine gets it down over the halfway line. Comes all the way back to Jensen Jones. Ashia tried to tackle him. Jones kept it in. Goes straight to Kasumu. Dan Neal picks up the loose ball. And Chris Rigg now rolling it through. Guillau's trying to run onto the end of this. But Watmore got enough on it to knock it off Guillau's feet. Over and towards the corner. And Rigg puts it out in the corner for a throw to Huddersfield Town.
Yeah, it's just that half a yard pace.
I mean, you could put your mortgage on this result tonight, couldn't you?
In the 57th minute,
you really could.
Still lead by a goal to nil. Murray Wallace with this throw up onto the header, looking for Ashia, and in fact, I think Murray Wallace might be playing centre-back actually, and Ruffin is playing as the left-back. Here's Jensen Jones. The ball's come to him, but he's lost it, and now Rigg trying to win it back, but he hasn't, and Castledine gets away on the left with Ashia here.
Ryan Jones's grease so slow, he has no speed at all.
But Ashia is still going, plays it back behind him to Castledine, and he played it out for a throw to Sunderland on the right wing inside their own half. Jensen Jones with the throw back to Mukiele. Mukiele holding off Castledine, and then Jensen Jones gets it from Dan Neal. Back it goes to Anthony Patterson, out to Masuaku. Harrison Jones is wide on the left-hand side for Sunderland. Rolls it on to
Stephen Martin says yes, we could. Yeah.
Inside of him is Enzo Lefebvre. One touch back to Dan Neal, taking this on. Lovely ball through to Isidore in the penalty area behind Guillou, behind Roberts. And Roberts has to run back onto this on the right edge of the penalty area.
David Graham probably need 3 strikers after tonight.
And now pushes it back to Jensen Jones. And Jensen Jones.
Look, let's just get this cup out the road. Do you know what?
Roberts, lovely ball for Jensen Jones to cross over the head of Isidore.
Would you miss it if this trophy just didn't exist anymore? No.
Back inside to Dan Neal, back to Harrison Jones.
Me, I wish they would just get rid of it. I really do. Keep the FA Cup, but get rid of the League Cup for heaven's sake. It's ran its course, has it not?
Midfield, then out to Harrison Jones, wide on the left, ball in here, bobbles away from Guillou, bobbles past the foot of the right post, and it's gone for a corner.
A lot better by Sunderland.
Gray looks like he's running on sand.
Yeah, and you're just looking at the last opportunity there where Wilson Isidore's got behind defence, but unfortunately the ball made.
Thanks for hitting the thumbs up. If you can just click the thumbs up, thank you.
Held a run on the penalty spot.
You're listening to the MACKEM CABBIE and Rob.
From the right-hand side, what it used to be taken by Roberts.
No, that's the Premier League and the Champions League being the powerhouses now, isn't it?
Frustrated Patrick Roberts jogs away from the right corner. In the 60th minute,
the FA Cup was that big. FA Cup grandstand used to start at 11 o'clock in the morning and used to go right through to about 5:45. It showed you the helicopter view, showing you the coaches going into the hotel, the players sitting down eating the dinner in the hotel table with the suits on. It was a massive deal.
There are 4 Sunderland substitutes warming up and 4 Huddersfield substitutes flexing their muscles at the moment. The ball is out with Masuaku, closed down by Joe Taylor. He gets it across to Mukiele. Now Patrick Roberts just in front of Lee Grant, down the right to Rigg, slips it on, looking for Jensen Jones, but Kasumu's got there ahead of him. Ball slipped over the touchline, throw to Sunderland.
Yeah, but
not wholly convinced the ball went wholly over the line, but a throw's been given. Jensen Jones will take it to Patrick Roberts, who lifts it over Castledine to Mukiele, inside to Dan Neal. Dan Neal across to Harrison Jones in the centre, and wide on the left is Isidore. Halfway inside the Huddersfield half, taking it on to the corner of the penalty area and getting a free kick, being tripped. over in that corner. Preston 2, Wrexham 2. And Barnsley 1, Rotherham 1. Barnsley are Huddersfield's opponents at Oakwell on Saturday. This is an opportunity for Sunderland then. Enzo Lefebvre is over the ball at the corner of the penalty area on the left-hand side. Huddersfield have a defensive wall ranged across the penalty area 12 yards out. 2 in the wall in front of Enzo Lefebvre and Patrick Roberts. Dean Whitestone, the referee, all in black, just strolling back outside the penalty area. 4 Sunderland forwards line up, and Enzo Lefebvre, right arm raised. In comes the ball. It's tipped over the bar by the keeper. Done well. Another corner. The keeper's forced.
I mean, a lot of people are saying Division 1 team, but in theory they're a championship side, aren't they?
Good free kick. 1-0 still to Huddersfield. So it's whipped in by Masuaku, and Mukiele heads it wide.
Dear.
Well, that was a glorious opportunity, but Nordi Mukiele knows it. Headed it powerfully wide.
Well, good at missing chances, Sunderland mind, aren't they? Right, I don't know what the hell they do in training. Every season we keep saying this. Season after season.
And headed it wide.
Free header. Didn't even put it on target.
So 1-0. It still remains to Huddersfield Town of League One. Here comes Sunderland again down the left of the penalty area, trying to get in on that side was Lefebvre. It's won back by Watmore, and Watmore plays it up towards the halfway line, and Joe Taylor, who is down on his back, thought he was pulled down by Masuaku, but the referee doesn't think so, and play goes on. And here is Jensen Jones and Roberts wide.
Just jumped in, Daniel. Poor performance judging on score. Any decent performances? Harrison Jones, perhaps.
He swings it across, looking for Isidore, who heads it or tries to head it.
Nobody stood out at all, Dan, to be honest with you. Not one person.
One back by Isidore into Guiu, but the ball given away. And Huddersfield lash it out up into the centre circle. Mukiele, Sunderland fans sensing that there may be a goal coming here. Down the left now, Lefebvre. He's got a run from Harrison Jones, who checks his run in the penalty area. The ball goes back to Masuaku and eventually headed over for a goal kick to Huddersfield Town. And maybe the pendulum has slightly swung in Sunderland's favour now in the second half. But they do trail 1-0, so they have to make this pressure count. And I think Huddersfield might be thinking about making a change. The goalkeeper with a goal kick up to the halfway line. Harrison Jones heads it in the air. It'll come back down for Dan Neil. Leaves it for Jones, and back behind him, Mukiele.
Yep, Kingfisher, you're right. No one's played well. David Graham, 1993 brings back memories. Yeah.
Patrick Roberts trying to cut inside, then finds Jensen Jones. Roberts again pulls it back straight to a blue and white shirt.
You've got to gamble.
And it's Lyndon Gooch who hooks it away back over the halfway line.
You've got to gamble. Midfield players have got to gamble.
And Masuaku back to Patterson.
Just not interested, Rob, are they? They're just not interested in this at all.
We're in the 65th minute. Huddersfield leading 1-0. Norwich 0, Southampton 2. Now with Roberts, Dan Neil in the centre circle. Across to the far side to Harrison Jones. Harrison Jones cuts inside, leaves it for Dan Neil just behind him, and then down the left.
Yeah, the only good thing about this game was their goal, amazing volley. It was mine.
Isidore by Lefebvre, tackled, ball pushed behind for a corner.
All of a sudden, we're starting to make runs beyond the defence, aren't we? Getting behind. That's where the space.
Once again, Sunderland struggling to break down a low block team. We just can't do it, can we?
Again, we'll take this penalty area. Dan Neil and Jensen Jones back outside the box. Lefebvre with his whips this in. Mukiele got a foot on it, but it's headed.
Vicky Hare, yeah, it was a great.
He sensibly plays it out to Lefebvre on the left of the penalty area. He's trying to get in here, and he's struggling to get through. He goes down, no penalty, says the referee. And Harrison Jones picks the ball up, plays it back to Masuaku, and then Roberts in the middle with Dan Neil, and Neil to Chris Rigg on the right-hand side here. And rolls it down to Mukiele. Rolls it in here. and it comes up off the foot, the right-hand foot of Jensen Jones into the hands of the goalkeeper. Never any power really behind that, and comfortably caught by Lee Nichols. So a change is imminent for Huddersfield Town. Their first change. The ball pushed out into midfield. Voss plays it back to Watmore. Out on the right to Lyndon Gooch. Gooch skips round a challenge from Isidore. The ball breaks up onto the halfway line. Charles plays it across here, but it's straight into the path of Patrick Roberts, who heads away down the right wing. Skips in, or he tried to get in past.
There's Gary Sy. Oh.
Back now to Wallace. And then Patrick Roberts has caught Ruffin, and it's a free kick to Huddersfield Town, wide on the left. Wolves 2, West Ham 2. There's a change now to be made by Huddersfield. Ruffin is still on the floor.
That Ben Wiles, is it?
Wiles, it is coming on, yeah, and it's Castledine is coming off.
The team of no talents, says William.
Wiles, who scored the only goal of the game at the weekend against Stevenage. 67th minute, he comes on for Huddersfield, their first change this evening. Castledine, the scorer of the only goal of the game so far. Barnsley 2, Rotherham 1. Well, if it goes to penalties, who's going to take penalties? With Sunderland's record. Bournemouth 0, Brentford 2. Full commentary on Saturday of Sunderland against Brentford here at the Stadium of Light, 3 o'clock. Following that will be full commentary of Leeds United against Newcastle with Reyes Renando. But here comes Isidore, away on the left-hand side. Rolls it in, looking for Guiu. Guiu back to goal. Watmore on his shoulder. Finds Isidore. Down the left to Harrison Jones. Jones now edge of the penalty area. Drives one in off the back of Lyndon Gooch. It's another corner. Sunderland's 8th corner of the game. Clocking them up in the second half.
Brian Hughes was still crying out for that experienced striker. I don't want to be negative. Oh, I've been saying that for weeks, Brian.
Ashir on the penalty spot. Everyone else pretty much in the 6-yard box, but it's played back to the back of the area. Roberts on his left, rising all the time. 18 yards out, well over the crossbar. 0 to Huddersfield. Wolves take a 3-2 lead over West Ham. Just over 20 minutes left to take this to penalties if they can find an equaliser. Dare I say, can they even score and then find a winner? But whilst it's been a much, much better second half, they still haven't found a goal yet.
Straight at the front, so. You okay?
Huddersfield take a throw on the far side. Gooch back to Watmore, back to the goalkeeper. Nichols out to Kasumu, back to Watmore. Drives a longer ball up towards Joe Taylor, who chests it down looking for Wiles. It comes to Ben Wiles now, and he's got it in the middle. He's trying to play it out to the left wing to Ashir, but it sweeps past him. And Regis Lebris for a throw to Sunderland on this right-hand side, which Jensen Jones takes back to Mukiele and into Patterson, and his
Roberts just had a shot, nearly went out the stadium.
Sunderland half, and now Masuaku.
John Young just shows you why we need a first-class striker. I know.
Huddersfield half tackled, or an attempted tackle on him, but the ball gets through to Lefay, and it's just given straight to
Oh, well, Sunderland man says bong.
Charles back to Gooch, looking for Taylor, but cut out by Masuaku. Finds the head of Harrison Jones, but Charles runs into it, but then he loses it. Dan Neal brings his forward through the middle, rolling it to Rigg. Rigg out now to Patrick Roberts on the right-hand side. Corner of the penalty area on the right, trying to cut across the box. Kasumu tackles him, but the ball breaks for Lefay.
Just no intent, absolutely, Gary.
Roberts, Lefay, and now Masuaku. Wide on the left to Harrison Jones. Harrison Jones looks to cross. It's a poor cross, and it swings behind for a goal kick to Huddersfield Town. 71st minute, Sunderland 0, Huddersfield Town 1. So the goal kick, Murray Wallace places the ball on the left of the 6-yard box, taps it to Lee Nichols, the goalkeeper, and that's the referee scene here. The referee's blown and he's strolled towards the penalty area and he's pointing at Murray Wallace, who has the ball again at his feet to play short to the goalkeeper. Guillou goes to close him down and nearly intercepted the clearance. Comes up to Harrison Jones, heads it away from Charles. It's won by Isidore, left to run by Guillou for Chris Rigg, but when it was played through into the penalty area, Enzo Lefebvre thought it was foul, but the referee didn't. And play goes on, and it's played out to Wiles and slipped into the middle now here to Vost. And Vost has on his right Charles, who clips it up towards Joe Taylor, who had time and space but headed it wide of the angle of the post and bar.
Yeah,
and he knows he should have done a lot better. He could have won the tie there, Joe Taylor. He knows he should have done a lot better, the 22-year-old Welshman.
Not sure, Gary, about Sunderland's fate in '93, but remember Arsenal and Sheffield Wednesday both played each other. Yeah.
In the middle of the Sunderland half, rolls it across to Harrison Jones. Now Isidore hugging the touchline, taking on Lyndon Gooch, trying to outrun him, and he gets into the penalty area but shows too much of the ball to Jack Watmore, and it's played out on the right to Charles, up towards Joe Taylor.
Really does not seem to have the quality. Strange. You've seen a Sunderland League team play with more passion than this lot.
The Huddersfield half on the left side. And Joe Taylor expressing his anger to the referee. The free kick's been taken. It's now with Mukayele on the right and down the right wing to Patrick Roberts, to Chris Rigg, slips it into Jensen Jones in the penalty area. Just wouldn't fall for him, but he does win a corner eventually.
We've got to get a quality ball in, Nick.
Get a quality ball in, says Gary Bennett.
Ninth corner, a couple of changes. Marcus Harness, I can see, is one of them. And Jay Sway, an 18-year-old defender, is another. Here is Roberts, swings a ball in, and Guy heads it over. Guillou just heads it over. Nice ball in for Mark Guillou, but he's headed just over the bar. Goal kick to Huddersfield. So they're trying and trying.
I hope Guy's not another burst door. Dragon Hunter, judging by the comments here, it sounds like the lads are not going too well.
Another ball into Roberts at the edge of the area. He finds Chris Rigg. Rigg rolls it, looking for Guillou, and it's played into the side netting by Rigg. Just won't open up for them. No, they got in the box. They got the ball. Rigg, he could have taken the shot himself. It was an angle, but unselfishly, he saw Guillou was in the centre. He tried to find him, but Watmore was there to block it. Came back to Chris Rigg.
It's just one of those games, isn't it?
1-0 still to Huddersfield Town. Just over a quarter of an hour left to play. A double substitution about to come for the visitors. Here's Dan Neal, Marcus Harness, the very experienced midfielder.
We're just not bothered, are we? It's as simple as that. We're just not fussed at all.
League One and the Championship, predominantly when he was at Portsmouth. Very, very experienced player. At Ipswich last season. Here now is Patrick Roberts on the right-hand side. Roberts trying to take on Ruffin. He puts the ball in the box. There's Gooch in the centre, as he was at Luton Town, heading the ball away for Huddersfield Town, and then a foul on Ashia, and it'll be a free kick to Huddersfield. So Taylor's going off. Marcus Harness is going to replace him. And I'm presuming a defender will come off. Watmore, it looks like, is it?
No, it's not Watmore, is it?
Well, yeah, he's just come over to get touchline to get. It's Ashia, isn't it? Murray. Cameron Ashier's coming off.
Murray, no?
No, it's the two players off are Taylor and Ashia. So Ashia, who is playing out on this left wing, is Jay Sway going to play there? He's only made one appearance for Huddersfield before, and that was in the first round of the League Cup as a substitute. He's just swapped places. So Jay Sway now takes up a place on the left of midfield, and Marcus Harness is the player who's just on the ball in the middle, and I think as Ben Wiles gone ahead of him is the number 9, but anyway, Harness is up there as an attacking player. The ball is back with Patterson, and Patterson with his foot on the ball plays it out to Mukiele. We're in the 77th minute. Huddersfield leading 1-0 if you're just joining us on BBC Radio Newcastle. And here's Masuaku, drives it out on the left-hand side, wide to Enzo Lefebvre. Back to Harrison Jones inside the Sunderland half, and now Mukiele again. And Jensen Jones, well, he's played it through the middle in the end to Guiu. Back to Dan Neil, looking for Wilson Isidore in front of Lyndon Gooch, trying to go round him. He gets into the penalty area. Gooch goes with him, and then eventually Isidore stabs it back to Harrison Jones on the corner of the penalty area. The ball is in the air. It's headed out from the penalty spot by Wallace, and then stabbed away by Ruffin onto the head of Masuaku, just in front of the centre circle, who nods it down to Harrison Jones, then into Enzo Lefebvre, back to Jones, Isidore, Harrison Jones, and back to Masuaku, just at the edge of the centre circle. In the middle is Mukiele, plays it across on the left to Harrison Jones, looking for the run of Isidore and Enzo Lefebvre. Enzo Lefebvre taps it to Isidore. The cross is blocked by Watmore, offside. And it's a free kick to Huddersfield in the 78th minute. There's a bat flying around, look. See it? Right in front of us. And there's going to be a double switch. Alexic and Sealt are going to come on for Sunderland.
Isidore's coming off.
So Isidore comes off. That'll be Alexic to replace him.
He's done okay on the left-hand side, Isidore.
Yeah.
Second half.
And Mukiele's coming off.
Mukiele. He's done well, Mukiele.
He's looked comfortable, hasn't he? Should have scored. And Isidore walked him, and as Wilson does, decides to take the longest way round to applaud everybody and shake a few hands and see his people. It's Wilson. These are my people. Here he comes. There he is. He's loving it. Now with Huddersfield out on the left to Ruffin, forwards to Sway, and Kasumo, who tries to find Sway again, but the ball slipped past him, and it'll be a throw to Sunderland on the right-hand side. Sheffield Wednesday 1, Leeds 0. Leeds, no doubt, a much changed team tonight, one would hazard a guess. Here's Sealt, plays the ball back across on the left to eventually Alexic. There was a Carl Darlow own goal in that game.
Is that Chris Rigg?
Chris Rigg is on his knees here, isn't he? What's the problem here? He's about to be looked at. He's going to get some treatment. So he's sort of kneeling but up, facing up, looking at the physios. It'll be a throw to Sunderland when we get back underway. Just over 10 minutes for Sunderland to find an equaliser and take this game to penalties. So still Chris Rigg receives treatment. Harrison Jones waiting to take the throw on the far side. I think Rigg's okay. He's back up on his feet. He take a knock in his jaw, I think, by the looks of things. Took a knock to the face. Looks as though he's just wiping his mouth. It looks as though he took a knock in the face. He hasn't just taken a tooth out, has he? No. But I think that's where the collision was. So the throw. Harrison Jones will take this. Halfway inside almost the Huddersfield half. Rigg has to wait to come back on. Huddersfield leading 1-0. Enzo Lefebvre, Harrison Jones, then Lefebvre back to Musiaku. Swings the ball across the pitch, looking for Roberts. Lovely ball inside then to Jensen Jones. His touch was a bit heavy into the penalty area, and Huddersfield Town get the ball out here to Kasumo. But blocked by Enzo Lefebvre. And he's deemed to have fouled Kasumo Kasuma and it's a free kick to Huddersfield Town in their blue and white stripes. Riggs back on. Wallace will take the free kick. 81st minute. And at the moment he's hesitating. And then he plays it back to the goalkeeper. Pushes it out into midfield to Vost. Back again it goes to Lee Nichols, the keeper. He kicks this up towards the halfway line, looking for Wiles, who turns away from Masuaku and then gets the ball out wide on the right to Lyndon Gooch. And Gooch to the corner of the penalty area. In the penalty area goes, a couple of step overs, and drives the ball straight at Patterson at the foot of the near post. It's out quickly now to Chris Rigg. Rigg looking for the run, well, Alexic, but it's going to go to Watmore, and Watmore will get the ball back to the goalkeeper. In the 82nd minute, foot on the ball, pushes it out, played out to Kasumu, and that wide again to Gooch, inside to Dion Charles, and it's played out for a throw to Huddersfield. And a throw will be taken by Gooch. Just back inside the Huddersfield half. Back it goes to Watmore. Watmore across to Wallace. Forwards then to Kasumu. Wolves are through to the third round. They've beaten West Ham. A high ball played up over Masuaku, but straight back to Anthony Patterson. In the 83rd minute now, it's rolled out to Jensen Seelt, and Seelt plays it wide here on the right to Jensen Jones, and back in to Dan Neil. Masuaku, it's got Ben Wiles, I think it is, in front of him, but it's played across to Jensen Seelt here, and Seelt looking, well, it's come off of Sway, who gets it back here now, and then out on the left hand side, Ruffin trying to get it forwards for Huddersfield, but one back by Rigg to Neil, who plays it across to Harrison Jones on the left-hand side, and it's pushed on to Alexic down this left-hand side. Was he pulled back? He's still got the ball on the left of the penalty area. Crosses here, and Guillou scores!
Excellent.
Mark Guillou equalises in the 84th minute. Alexic's cross and Guillou's header, and it's 1-1.
Brilliant, excellent. Well done, Guillou.
So Guillou's off the mark.
Yeah, I'm happy for him. He's kept going, hasn't he? But it's a quality ball in by Alexis. Just played it in the area, and he's gone and attacked it. And it's fully deserved, Sunderland, especially in that second half.
And the irony is, the two goals tonight have both come from Chelsea players. Leo Castledine on loan from Chelsea for Huddersfield. Mark Guillou on loan from Chelsea for Sunderland. But it's 1-1, and with the time being 84 minutes, it would appear, unless something drastic happens, that this is heading for penalties. Flag up offside against Guillou.
Not going to head to penalties.
So you think there's going to be, someone's going to score a dramatic...
Sunderland are going to score.
Okay. The prophet has spoken. And now this is where Joe Taylor, he will be thinking, if only I scored with that header. But there's a possible break here. Rigg, Guillou in the middle. He's challenged the loose ball. Alexic finds it first. Harrison Jones inside to Enzo Lefebvre, looking for Patrick Roberts. Comes down on the right, and just behind him is Jensen Jones. He gets it back to Patrick Roberts. Roberts now for Jensen Jones on the right. Crosses, and the ball is headed behind. It's a goal kick.
Very quick.
It's a goal kick for Huddersfield. 1-1 in the 85th minute.
And they're hanging on now, aren't they, Huddersfield?
Yeah. Well, Sunderland have been the dominant team in the second half. A game of two halves. Changed the formation, made a difference. And now the goal kick from Nichols up over the halfway line. Bounces away through, back to Patterson. And Patterson tapping it to Seelt. Seelt closed down. What's the referee seen here?
What's happening?
Is there something in the crowd? I don't know. Alexic is... And now Lyndon Gooch. They're calling
Something in the crowd.
Something's happened in the
crowd.
Now Lee Grant is getting very animated as well. They're all pointing towards something in the east stand. I can see stewards running up the stairs. The medics, the Huddersfield Town medics, are actually sprinting across the pitch now. Lyndon Gooch turns round. There's an incident in the lower block across in the east stand, and the Huddersfield medics are all across that far side now. So we're going to have a stoppage by the looks of things here. While that is dealt with, the Sunderland medical team are joining them now. They're running across. So on that assumption, I don't think play can go on until a medical team is back in the dugouts in case of an injury during the game itself. So both the Sunderland medics jump over the advertising board, and so all the players no doubt discussing penalties now.
Patterson has had
who's going to take one?
Who's going to take a penalty?
Bearing in mind Sunderland haven't scored a penalty since Roberts scored at Plymouth, wasn't it, last season?
He'll take one, Roberts. Enzol, if he'll take one. I would imagine Chris Rigg will take one. Dan Neil.
Yeah, he's captain. You'd expect him to take one. Guy will take one, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Well, you're working on the assumption it won't go to sudden death. Which is probably a good assumption to make, actually, with Sunderland's penalty record. Still, this stoppage looks as though, I don't know, there are people moving out of their seats in that little block where the incident happened and moving away from the incident up the steps out onto the concourse. A lot of people actually are leaving, which I'm surprised at, bearing in mind what drama might happen at the end of the game. Let's go to the roundup of latest scores, because there's clearly a little bit of a stoppage here. A lot of games played. Colin's alongside of us. Yeah, what's happening?
Yeah, we will come back to you, Nick, as soon as there is anything to let people know about off the pitch and on the pitch as well. But yeah, both sets of players over here by the touchline with the referee, just having a chat to the match commanders as well. Lots and lots of other games in the League Cup this evening, couple of which have finished already. Reading have beaten Wimbledon, AFC Wimbledon, by 2-1. Cambridge United, in fact, that's not finished. That is in the 16th minute of injury time. But Cambridge are 3-1 up on Charlton, who had a man sent off in the 12th minute of injury time. One that has finished, though, one of those all Premier League ties. Wolves have beaten West Ham by 3-2. The man that Newcastle fans have been talking about, and they had that bid rejected for him of £50 million. Jurgen Strand Larsen scoring twice for Wolves tonight, so he's certainly in a mental state to be playing, scoring twice in the last 10 minutes. Thomas Soucek and Lucas Paquetá were West Ham's goal scorers, but Wolves are through. Brentford look as though they are going to be going through from the other All Premier League tie, because Fabio Carvalho and Igor Thiago have given them a 2-0 lead at Bournemouth with just a couple of minutes of the 90 left. Owen Bailey, formerly of Gateshead and Newcastle United, has scored for Doncaster, one of their 2 goals. They are leading 2-0 away at Accrington Stanley. Barnsley are 2-1 up on Rotherham in that Yorkshire derby. We know that Barnsley are the opponents of Huddersfield in another Yorkshire derby this coming weekend as well in the league. Port Vale are leading 1-0 away at Birmingham City, heading into the last minute of that one. Bromley 1, Wycombe Wanderers 1, Burnley 1, Derby 1. Brandon House has just scored for Lincoln City, so they're 1-0 up at Burton Albion in the last minute. Cardiff City comfortably 3-0 ahead against Cheltenham Town, and it's the same score for Southampton at Norwich. Archer, Fraser and Matsuki with Southampton's goals, so they're 3-0 up away at Norwich. Preston and Wrexham might be heading to penalties. That's 2 apiece. Preston had the lead after 7 minutes, but after 11 minutes were pegged back. Then they took the lead again through Liam Lindsay on the half-hour mark. Ashfield giving Wrexham parity in that one with about half an hour to go, and as they go into injury time, that is level as well. Bradford, though, will be in the draw tomorrow. They're 3-0 up away at Stoke City. It's Swansea 1, Plymouth Argyle 1. Wigan have just scored to take a late lead at home to Stockport County as well. Millwall 2-0 up on Coventry. That an 8 o'clock kickoff, so there's still a good 15 minutes left in that. Millwall 2, Coventry 0. The same goes for Sheffield Wednesday against Leeds United. Leeds United, who are Newcastle's opponents at the weekend. Sheffield Wednesday with all sorts of off-field troubles, but as it stands, they will be in the draw because they lead by a goal to nil. A Carl Darlow own goal, former Newcastle goalkeeper, of course, Carl Darlow. But Sheffield Wednesday 1, Leeds United 0, with about 15 minutes remaining in there. A reminder that this game here at Sunderland has stopped because of an incident in the crowd. The two sets of players are still out on the pitch. The referee, Dean Whitestone, is over on this near side touchline with his ball under his arm, so the players have not been taken off the pitch yet. If they are, then the whole thing is delayed, because once they come back out, they go through a warm-up as well. A few of the players just keeping themselves warm by knocking the ball about between themselves, but as it stands, the players still out on the pitch. Elsewhere away from the League Cup tonight, 3 games in the Champions League. Celtic are not going to be Newcastle's opponents, or one of them, in the group stage of the Champions League, because they were beaten by the Kazakh side Kairat on penalties. Both the first leg and the second leg, including extra time at the end of the second leg, were goalless, and Kairat won it 3-2 on penalties. As it stands in the 2 other games, Red Star Belgrade are winning 1-0 away at Paphos, which would take that one to extra time. But Bodo Glimt are on their way through. They're 2-1 down at Sturm Graz, but they're still 6-2 up on aggregate. Non-league wise tonight, just about all the games have finished now. Kendalltown against Horn is 0-0 going into the last minute, but all the other ones have finished. I mentioned that Gary Bennett's son Andre had scored for Newcastle Benfield. That was to give them a 2-1 lead early in the second half away at Birtley, but Birtley scored twice, and Birtley lead by 3-2. The referee's blown the whistle. It looks as though the match is about to restart. There are still stewards and medical personnel in the stand, but obviously the communication is that they are okay to continue, and I will therefore hand you back to Gary Bennett and Nick Barnes.
And I think Anthony Backhouse, the 4th official, is going to indicate how much time is left rather than how much time will be added on. The referee's going to have a drop ball with Anthony Patterson, thanks Colin, and it'll be 12 minutes. Well, I mean, technically we're in added time now, because we've reached the 94th minute, and we had 5 minutes to play. So I think they've adjudged there was 5 minutes plus there would have been 7 minutes added time. So we've got now 12 minutes plus added time plus to avoid penalties. It's plenty of time to find a winner. Here's Alexic, second half substitute, back to Sealt likewise, and then wide to Jensen Jones, who came on at half time for Niall Huggins. He finds Roberts down the right, almost on the goal line. Kasumu is in front of him. He played it back into the middle, but straight into the path of Charles, I think it is. He's pushed over by Dan Neil, and Neil is booked for that challenge. There's Charles looked to try and break away. So a 95th minute booking for Dan Neil. Free kick will be taken by Murray Wallace. Charles continues. Charles is actually playing up front now for Huddersfield Town. Marcus Harness just off his shoulder on the right, and Wallace then with this free kick. It's 1-1. We're in the 95th minute, but well, we've got a good 10 minutes left to play. Here's the ball with Lefay in his own half. Comes back now to Sealt. On to Dan Neil. Neil finds Jensen Jones inside to Roberts, but he's dispossessed, and the ball played through the middle. Vost on to Harness, into the Sunderland half. Harrison Jones tries to make a stab at it. Marcus Harness goes wide, almost onto the touchline. And Harness now trying to take on Harrison Jones, slips the ball inside to Vost, who crosses, and it goes straight through the penalty area and behind for a goal kick. And
just over in the far side.
Yeah, there's applause. There's a lot of stewards in that area that the incident happened in the East Stand. I'm told what has happened is a youngster has jammed his leg in a seat. Now I don't know, that's not absolutely authoritative, but that's the information I've received, that a youngster has jammed his leg in a seat, and that is the reason for that delay. Here's Guillou, the goal scorer, rolls it through to Rigg down the side of the penalty area, but he tried to push it on. Jensen Jones hadn't read his intention, and the ball rolls behind for a goal kick to Huddersfield. Sheffield Wednesday 1, Leeds 1, and it's Burnley 2, Derby 1. There's a Huddersfield Town player on his back with cramp by the looks of things, helped to his feet, and we're in the 97th minute. Goalkeeper strolls back to Nichols. So this, as the keeper throws the ball down for the kick. Apparently it appears that the poor youngster got the leg jam when Sunderland scored.
Oh, bless him.
It was the excitement. Fingers crossed they're okay. Fingers crossed. I guess by that applause, he probably is. The ball with Harrison Jones, back to Masuaku, across now to Patrick Roberts, straight to his feet, and now he slips it through to Chris Rigg on the right of the penalty area. Tried to get it back to Roberts, comes off Ruffin, and it's a throw, quickly taken by Rigg, hurls it back now to Sealt. Sealt just inside the Huddersfield half. Short pass inside to Dan Neil. 1-1 here at the Stadium of Light in the 98th minute, but a good probably 8 minutes still to play. Here now with Neil. Neil dinks the ball through into the penalty area, but straight to the goalkeeper. Straight into his arms, and out he jogs to the edge of his penalty area, and he's being counted down now, and he kicks clear up as far as Masuaku in the Sunderland half, who leaves it for Harrison Jones. On to Enzo Lefebvre. Lefebvre now to Dan Neil, behind him is Sealt. Sealt out here on the right, Jensen Jones, Roberts just ahead of him. He goes to Chris Rigg though, just ahead. Rigg leaves it for Roberts to run onto. Roberts trying to run at Ruffin. The ball played into the edge of the penalty area, eventually comes out to Dan Neil. Roberts in the middle, leaves it for, well, Enzo Lefebvre in the end, in front of Harrison Jones. Down to Alexic, whose cross provided the first goal for Guillou. Can he do so again? Lefebvre though, now for Roberts in the left edge of the penalty area, back to Lefebvre. Roberts again, just at the corner of the penalty area, rolls it into Harrison Jones, pulls it back, but behind
penalty again, the penalty
Chris
spot.
Rigg on the penalty spot, and it comes all the way back to Patterson. There's that errant bat flying around again in front of us. Brought us luck last time, can it do so again? Bournemouth 0, Brentford 2 is the final score. Now it's whipped in by Sealt, runs across to Harrison Jones, tackled, and goal kick, says the referee. In the 99th minute.
Making another substitution, Huddersfield.
Yep. And who is it?
This
is it not Alfie May, is it? No, it's not. It's Herbie Kane, who's coming on for Vost. So the 26-year-old former Barnsley midfielder coming on now for Huddersfield Town. 19-year-old Daniel Vost being applauded off by the 1,000 Huddersfield fans. There's another change here as well. Charles is coming off. And the other player coming on is
25.
Bojan Radulovic. So a double switch in the 100th minute by Huddersfield Town. And playing up front is Radulovic. He's got the ball away on the right to Marcus Harness. An advantage played by the referee in towards the penalty spot, and the loose ball is hooked away by Dan Neil. Because running onto that, I think, was Ben Wiles, and they've got the ball out now on the far side.
Got away with that one, didn't he? And it slipped through his fingers, didn't it?
It was a moment. Harness's ball through. It did appear to slip. Did it slip through his fingers? He went down to get it with his feet, and it broke into the penalty area, into the path almost of a Huddersfield player. And here's Wiles again. He shoots. Oh, and just over the crossbar. That skimmed the bar by the looks of things. That was nearly a Huddersfield winner.
You got some the Huddersfield colleagues beside us are getting really
getting
excited.
very excited. They're getting very excited.
Huh?
It's well, it could go either way, this, couldn't it? Could go either way. That was a big opportunity, and it wasn't far over. So now the ball was Silt playing it back to Patterson. We're in the 102nd minute. I think there's 3 or 4 minutes yet to go before we go to penalties. Huddersfield again. Ruffin down in the corner on the left-hand side to clear. Silt trying to head the ball on. It comes down off a Huddersfield player for Jensen Jones. Inside to Rigg. Lovely little back heel, but Jensen Jones is tackled. Loose ball falls for Enzo Lefebvre in the middle. He's tackled, but it's back to Dan Neil. Neil to Harrison Jones, and down the left wing to Milan Alexic. He's taking on a couple of defenders. Plays the ball back then to Harrison Jones. Down the left again. Alexic's cross. Looking for Guillou, looked to be pulled down.
No,
but the referee says it was pushing. Guillou says, I wasn't, I was fouled. But the referee's saying, no, you pushed the defender. Lee Nichols trying to illustrate that to the Spaniard as well. Free kick to Huddersfield Town. 103rd minute. Sunderland 1, Huddersfield Town 1. I'm guessing if it goes to penalties, surely they have to take them at the Roker end because the north end is empty. And we're heading inexorably towards a penalty shootout. Silt heads the ball away, straight to Kasumu though. And he's played it back to Kasumu Wiles and out to the right-hand side to Harness. Alexic trying to get the ball off him, plays it back to Gooch. And Gooch now on the right touchline, just inside the Sunderland half, plays it up into the middle. It's rolled across here to Sway on the left of the penalty area, trying to dribble in on his left foot, a weak shot which is cleared by Masuaku, out into touch on the Huddersfield left. 104th minute. I think maybe a minute, 2 minutes to play. Referee's urging Ruffin to get on with the throw. 20 yards from the corner on the left, looking to get the ball forwards to the substitute Radulovic. It's come back to Kasumu in the middle. He's intercepted his ball by Enzo Lefebvre, but it drops for Gooch. He swings the ball forwards, but it's cleared again. Onto the head now of Neil to Roberts. He's stretching. Sway's got the ball off him, and Jay Sway plays the ball back behind him to Kane. And Kane now taking this on. Rigg on his shoulder. Kane shoots from 25 yards, just over.
They're all going down with cramp.
They're all going. There's a few players going down with cramp, and we can't have much left in terms of time. We're in the 105th minute, and I think, if my calculations are right, this is pretty much, I think, the last minute. 1-1. It'll go straight to penalties if it finishes all square. The Huddersfield player down is getting his legs stretched. He's hauled up here. It was Kasumu. And Patterson has a goal kick. 104 minutes and 36 seconds played. Here's Masuaku taking the ball out towards halfway. Wide on the left touchline to Harrison Jones, back inside to Enzo Lefebvre, back to Masuaku, back again to Dan Neil. Dan Neil is in the centre circle, and here on the right, Jensen Jones battling, gets the ball back to Silt. It goes straight into the path of a Huddersfield player. Radulovic plays it back, it comes forwards again through Ruffin to the left wing. Played inside then by Wiles into the middle to Kane. Kane's looking for the break of Lyndon Gooch down the right wing for Huddersfield Town wide, he crosses, it hangs in the air, it'll bounce out behind for a goal kick to Sunderland. The referee looks at his watch. We're in the 106th minute of the tie, and I don't think there'll be much left now. Masuaku brings the ball out, up here to Dan Neil. Dan Neil across on the right-hand side to Sealt. Sealt looking for Roberts. Roberts inside to Rigg. Little flick back to Roberts. Roberts in the middle. Roberts trying to hook it up on the left of the penalty area to Alexic. He runs down almost to the goal line, halfway between the touchline and the penalty area. Plays it back to Harrison Jones. Slips it through to Patrick Roberts. Roberts, his shot is blocked by Watmore, and it's a throw to Sunderland on the far side. We're in the 107th minute now. Back it comes to Dan Neil. Neil slips it into Masuaku. Masuaku urged to shoot. It comes off Kisumu. It's going to be a corner kick to Sunderland. Their 10th corner in the 107th minute. Enzo Lefebvre goes across to take it. Till the end, Benno. Till the end.
Ballard.
Yeah, Ballard. And pull that one again. Right. Lefebvre then on the left-hand side at the Roker end. Piling everybody up, apart from Masuaku and one other, Jensen Jones. Lefebvre then, a lot of players in the 6-yard box. This from the left-hand side. A lot of jostling. It's swung in by Lefebvre and it's headed out.
That's it.
And that's it. It'll go to penalties. It's finished here at the Stadium of Light. Stay with us because penalties to come. Sunderland 1, Huddersfield Town 1.
Matt Bailey at breakfast.
I went down into the kitchen last night, pristine white shirt, ready for work. My little boy eating tomato soup. Managed to give him a little hug and not get any tomato soup on me. Yeah, I know. That's the definition of danger, though. What's yours?
I wore some bright white trainers out on Saturday night. Ended up going to Cozy Joe's in the big market.
Oh, no. The killer of all white trainers. Did they come out white?
It's fine. I wanted a brown pair of shoes anyway.
Unbelievable. Gary says the definition of danger, eating a tuna sandwich on a train.
That's not dangerous. That's just inconsiderate.
Yeah.
Matt Bailey at breakfast.
Weekdays from 6. Just ask your smart speaker to play BBC Radio Newcastle.
Well, Huddersfield took Leicester City to penalties in the first round of the League Cup this season. They have taken Sunderland to penalties in the second round. It finished 1-1 after, I would say, 90 minutes, but there was that long delay because of the incident in the crowd. So after about what felt like 110 minutes, it finished 1 apiece, and it will be a penalty shootout. We'll be back with Barnsley and Benno as soon as that penalty shootout looks like it's imminent. I can now rattle through the teams that are definitely through from all the other League Cup games tonight. Reading are through. They beat AFC Wimbledon 2-1. Cambridge United are through. They beat Charlton 3-1. Wolves came from behind to score twice in the last 10 minutes. Jurgen Strand Larsen scoring in the 82nd and 84th minutes. Yes, that one that's been linked to Newcastle United all week. He scored twice. Wolves beat West Ham 3-2 in one of the All-Premier League ties, and the other one, Brentford, who Sunderland play at the weekend, won 2-0 away at Bournemouth. Doncaster also won 2-0 away. They were taking on Accrington Stanley. Owen Bailey, formerly of Gateshead, scoring one of their goals. Barnsley 2, Rotherham United 1 in a Yorkshire derby. Port Vale won 1-0 away at Birmingham City. Bromley and Wycombe Wanderers are in the midst of a penalty shootout as we speak. Burnley scored in injury time to beat Derby 2-1. Lincoln scored in the 89th minute to win 1-0 at Burton Albion. Cardiff won comfortably against Cheltenham, as did Southampton comfortably away at Norwich. Preston 2, Wrexham 3. Kiefer Moore in the 92nd minute, putting Wrexham through to the third round. Bradford through comfortably with a 3-0 win away at Stoke City. Swansea and Plymouth Argyle are currently in a penalty shootout. In fact, I think Swansea have won that one because it says in front of me 5-3. Well, I don't think you can come back from 5-3. So Swansea City are through at the expense of Plymouth. Wigan left it quite late, but did beat Stockport County 1-0. And there was a late goal from Hadji Wright for Coventry City, but it didn't matter. They had already found themselves 2-0 down at home away to Millwall. So Millwall 2, Coventry City 1. And into the final minute, because it was an 8 o'clock kickoff, they are going to penalties as it stands between Sheffield Wednesday and Leeds United as well. In the non-league games tonight, I got part of the way through these earlier. It does look as though they're going to take the penalties in front of the empty stand, by the way. We'll come back to that in a second. Northern League Division 1, Berkeley Town beat Newcastle Benfield 3-2. Horden scored very late to win 1-0 at Kendal. Newcastle Blue Star beat Wycombe 4-0. Shildon won 1-0 at Northallerton. West Allotment Celtic beat Gisborough 1-0. Mask United were 3-2 winners at West Auckland Town. And free-scoring Whitley Bay beat Thornaby by 5 goals to 1 in Division 2 to round us all off. AFC Newbiggin and Jarrow was a goalless draw. Chesley Street Town beat Durham United 2-0. Redcar Town beat Bolden 1-0. CM Red Star 0, Parkview 0. Yarman Eaglescliff won 1-0 at Sunderland RCA. And there was a 2-2 draw between Sunderland West End and Billingham Synthonia. Right then, as the two teams make their way out towards the centre circle again, it is penalty shootout time. It is Gary Bennett and Nick Barnes time.
Thank you, Colin. And James Brain has just been giving the Sunderland team in a huddle a rousing speech, and they're going to take penalties. You're absolutely right. At the north end of the ground, where there are the Huddersfield Town fans and the upper concourse, there's nobody in the lower part of the stand. They did a coin toss for that, so it wasn't a decision reached by any sort of committee. It was done as they always do, with a toss of the coin. So it looks as though Huddersfield, are they going to take the first penalty? I'm not sure, because Patterson and Lee Nichols are wandering towards that open goal, and it is a Huddersfield player who has walked out first, and it looks like it's going to be Huddersfield who take the first penalty, and I think it's the substitute, Herbie Kane, who's going to take the first penalty this evening at the north end of this penalty shootout. And if we go back through the penalty shootout of the last 25 years, Benno, I mean, crumbs, they've been inauspicious, to say the least, when it comes to Sunderland. So fingers crossed they can rewrite history again this evening and
come on, Anthony Pato.
Go through. It's going to be Herbie Kane then with the first.
He's good at penalty saves.
Penalty this evening. Herbie Kane steps back a couple of yards. Patterson trying to make himself big, the crowd trying to put him off, and he scores. Bottom left-hand corner, Patterson went the wrong way. 1-0 to Huddersfield.
Dan Neil next, is it?
So, no, it's Enzo Lefay is next up. So Enzo Lefay will take the first Sunderland penalty. Patterson hands in the ball. Lee Nichols has gone to the assistant referee in a towel, and it's just this is gamesmanship from Lee Nichols, isn't it? He's just like wasting time, just trying to make Enzo Lefay nervous. Lee Nichols in his dark grey goalkeeping kit, the 32-year-old former Wigan and MK Dons keeper, who was in goal and saved a couple of penalties against Leicester City, faces Enzo Lefay. Enzo Lefay steps back almost to the back of the penalty area. Here he comes and rolls it into the bottom right corner. Heart in your mouth for a moment.
How cool was that?
That was very, very cool. And now I think it's the substitute. Radulovic is going to come to take the second penalty for Huddersfield Town.
Look at Pato, what's he doing?
It's 1-1, and Anthony Patterson now is sitting at the intersection of the penalty area and the goal line as the second Huddersfield penalty taker comes up. Lee Nichols is standing with the ball by the penalty spot. The referee throws the ball to the floor, and Nichols is wishing Radulovic good luck. So the second Huddersfield penalty. Radulovic against Patterson. Patterson jumps up and down on his line again, waving his hands in the air, jogging, bouncing, and here comes Radulovic. Stops, right-footed, scores, punches the air, and it's 2-1 in favour of Huddersfield Town. There's two penalty takers for a moment, I thought then, Neil and Roberts. But Neil pats Patrick Roberts on the back, and Patrick Roberts coming forwards to take Sunderland's second penalty to draw them level in the shootout. 2-1 to Huddersfield, who took the first penalty. Roberts comes forwards. Lee Nichols has gone behind again to get a towel, a black towel, and waste a few seconds and try and unnerve Patrick Roberts, who carefully places the ball on the penalty spot. Patrick Roberts stands over the ball, wipes his brow with his upper shoulders, and now steps back 4-5 yards, not quite to the back of the penalty area. And Roberts then, to pull it level with his left foot, drives it in the top left corner.
Great penalty.
Very good penalty. 2-2. Marcus Harness coming forwards now for Huddersfield Town. Another experienced player walks past Patrick Roberts. Lee Nichols comes out again to greet his teammate. Quick word with Marcus Harness. Anthony Patterson takes a drink and stands at the back of his goal mouth at the moment before putting the bottle back down again. And Harness, only a couple of steps up to the penalty spot for Marcus Harness. Patterson as ever jumping up and down, and Harness rolls it in. 3-2. And the next penalty taker for Sunderland is Dan Neal. He gets a pat on his back from Chris Rigg. So the captain now forwards to take Sunderland's third penalty. Anthony Patterson at the edge of the D, hands in the ball, and Dan Neal comes forwards, and Lee Nichols yet again. It's the same routine every time. Walks away from the goal, picks up the black towel, dries his hands, strolls slowly and nonchalantly back onto the goal line. Dan Neal places the ball, walks back 4 yards. It's Dan Neal against Lee Nichols, and Neal, the Sunderland captain, comes up now with his right foot and hammers it in. 3-3. Well, nothing's giving at the minute. 3 penalties each, and here comes the fourth Huddersfield Town penalty taker, strolling up towards the edge of the penalty area. Can't work out who it is at the moment, but Patterson just slowly comes across the back of the 6-yard box.
Ben Wiles, is it?
Is it Wiles? Ben Wiles. It's Patterson standing on the 6-yard line at the moment, trying to work out who is taking this fourth penalty for Huddersfield. It's Ben Wiles for Huddersfield Town, and he scores, nestles in the side netting inside the net, and it's 4-3. And now coming forward, Chris Rigg. Chris Rigg, his walk is a little bit, for me, doesn't look the most confident of walks forwards from Rigg.
No.
He looks slightly nervous. Chris Rigg to take this fourth penalty to pull it level. It's 4-3 as it stands, but Rigg, to try and level things up here, stands over the ball. Lee Nichols bends over, stands on the line, just bobs up and down a little bit. Rigg steps back, hands on his hips for a moment, comes forward with his left foot, but he scores. His nervousness was misleading. It's 4-4. Is this Lyndon Gooch now who's coming forwards to take the fifth Huddersfield Town penalty? Lyndon Gooch strolls forwards purposely towards the edge of the penalty area. As always, Lee Nichols there to greet him on the penalty spot. One wonders, little fist pump from Chris Rigg as he walks back towards his teammates. Enzo Lefebvre comes to greet him. And Patterson then to face his former teammate Lyndon Gooch. Lyndon Gooch steps almost to the back of the penalty area. Here he comes, Gooch, and rolls it in. It came off the boot of Patterson, but it's in the roof of the net, and it is 5-4. So now the pressure is on here. Jensen Silt, by the looks of things.
I didn't have him down.
I wouldn't have had Jensen Silt down, but I'm not going to give him any discredit here at all. He may well be a fantastic penalty taker.
I had the striker. Gooey.
Well, Lyndon Gooch has put Huddersfield in a position to win the penalty shootout if Sunderland don't score this penalty.
Why didn't our centre forward take it?
And it's Jensen Silt who's going to take this fifth penalty for Sunderland.
Must be confident.
Lee Nichols on the line, pulling up his socks. Jensen Silt steps back 3 steps, comes forwards now, the Dutchman, and he scores casually, smashes it home. That was coolness personified. Kisumu's coming forwards now.
I'll tell you what, well done, Jensen. How cool was that?
I'll tell you what, if the psychologists have been at work at Sunderland on the penalties, if only they could do this in games. David Kisumu then coming forwards now for Huddersfield Town. It's been, well, perfect so far, 5-5. Kisumu against Patterson, and Patterson as ever, a lot of movement on the goal line. Kisumu steps back, here he comes, and he scores, sent Patterson the wrong way, 6-5, pressure back on Sunderland, and now who's coming forwards? It's Alexic. Milan Alexic is going to take Sunderland's 6th penalty. It's 6-5 to Huddersfield Town at the moment, and it's Milan Alexic who has to score. Lee Nichols, that routine, he goes through it religiously. He swings his arms around a little bit, loosens himself up. Alexic steps to the back of the penalty box, takes a couple of steps to the left, and then rolls it past the post. And Huddersfield have scored what turned out to be the winning penalty through David Kisumu. They've beaten Sunderland 6-5 on penalties. And for the second round, Huddersfield Town go through on a penalty shootout. Kane, Radulovic, Harness, Wiles, Gooch and Kisumu for Huddersfield Town. Lefay, Roberts, Neal, Rigg, Silt and Alexic. But Alexic put his penalty wide, and it's Huddersfield Town of League One who go through to the 3rd round draw tomorrow night, following the match between Manchester United and Grimsby Town. 22,249 here at the Stadium of Light tonight. It finished 1-1 after 100 and how many minutes? 107 minutes. Went to a penalty shootout, and Huddersfield Town have beaten Sunderland 6-5.
Anna Foster, weekday mornings from 10.
Food prices have risen again.
Well, what do you think of that, Gary? I mean, Rob?
You got rid of yours?
Oh my God. What did you think of that, Rob?
Well, yeah, it's an interesting one. I don't know if you've been following the BBC text.